Whoa.
Hey, John.
That is, hey, how's it going? That is my audio in the background.
It's all good. I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear anything, John.
That's okay. That's good. How's it going, man? We just started a live show.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. We're known to do that from time to time.
Yep, we're live, and I think if people are watching this afterwards, they're like, what is this? The worst open ever. Yeah, it's because we're like live. We're waiting for people. Enrique's here. Hello, everybody. Enrique Sanchez. What's up, buddy? Corey is here. What's up? We're going to talk some hoops. We're going to talk some NFL. We're going to give things away as always. And we don't have any sponsors for today's episode, do we?
Nah, get them out of here.
Get them out of here. All right. So should we have, I feel like we should have like some kind of opening exercise. Everybody who's getting in here, let us know. Say what's up. Hop in the chat. I guess I'll explain like how we do things for anyone who's new. So we give away $25 gift cards to DAP Sports that has NBA swag, NFL swag, sports swag, signed memorabilia, all that kinds of stuff. We give $25 gift cards away for every 25 likes on the video. So if you're getting in here, make sure you tap the like button. My chat just updated with like everybody. So
mine did too.
Michael, what's up? Felix, NBA, let's go. Dusty says, I was happy to get the stream notification. Three Walketeers. Hey guys, how's it going? Three Walketeers. Yolanda. I just like that name. You know what I mean? Yolanda. Something about that name. It's like
what's nice is like it already has a greeting right at the beginning. Like, yo. Yolanda. You know?
Yeah. That's probably why I like it. Yo, Londa, what's up? Melissa's here. Y'all ready for Wemby debut tonight at Summer League? Yeah. I mean, I'm not really watching Summer. Who's watching Summer League? Tap in and like tell me who that. Are you guys watching Summer League? There's 20 people watching now. Everybody like the video so that we can get a gift card real quick. Every 25 likes, we're doing a $25 gift card to DAP.
I don't mean to like, belittle anybody.
Yeah,
especially Wemby, who's like 9 feet tall. It's impossible. But like,
you can't believe.
I feel like if I told our audience that I'm watching the Summer League, they'd be like, "BS, dude! Like, no,
you're not.
Like, I'm not."
Some people are probably just because of what they want to watch Wemby.
I get it.
But I will say this: I think his probably European competition is better than the Summer League competition. Yeah, it's Wesley. I always got to call out the usernames that I like. I like this one. Yeah, it's Wesley. It's with a Z. It's Wesley _ Yo, he says yo. What's up, yo?
John, I've got a good kind of starting opening thing on the Wemby train. I don't know if you've heard about this. Did you hear?
I am on the Wemby train.
About his head of security slapping Britney Spears in the face.
Yes, I did via Instagram. I didn't know if it was real, but
so
yeah, via Instagram. Real? I saw the video. And I'm like, okay, I guess maybe she got slapped in the face. You can't really tell on the video.
Yeah. So she didn't, is what happened. But she, I mean, like a full, like, I hope they apologize kind of thing. I mean, man, I don't know what happened to Britney Spears, but I don't think we can like.
He's like, dude, I just listened to the song. She said.
I think Britney Spears.
She said to do it one more time.
I think that Britney Spears might be the best evidence we have that aliens do exist. That's kind of where I'm at. I don't think she's of this world. Yeah.
What is it about her that specifically makes you think that she's not of this world?
Have you ever
by the way, Roman wants to know if anybody plays 2K. Side note, Roman, we do some 2K streams sometimes on here. So like subscribe to the channel and hit the bell. We give away stuff while we're doing 2K streams. We have our own expansion team. But sorry.
Check it out in the NBA content.
Felix.
Ring chasing. Sorry.
She's
podcasters team.
She's toxic. Probably. I see what you did there.
That's good.
I see what you did there, Felix. Yeah, her eyes are alien, though. You say.
She looks nuts, man. She looks nuts. I don't know. She doesn't know what's going. I've never seen so much evidence like pile up in such a short amount of time that maybe she should have stayed in the conservatorship. Hot take. Sorry, guys.
Is anybody here a Britney Spears fan? That actually would be interesting. I tend to think that she doesn't have a lot of fans, but at one time she definitely had a lot of fans. Have they left the train, or am I just choosing to believe that they're not fans? You know what I mean?
I think she got a lot of fans. She has a lot of fans, but the fans I think are, I mean, I'm not speaking on behalf of them, but like, I think they're less music fans and more of like, they became in like the meltdown years and stuff, I think they became kind of like sympathetic towards her, and now they just see her as like a female icon that they don't want to see people like poop all over because we're filming the 10 minutes of the show.
Will said she's got a lot of fans, man. Okay,
Yeah.
Will, that's not what I asked. I asked if you were a fan. Is there anybody in here who's like is, and I'm here we go. So Melissa also says I was a big fan, but it's been right. I'm not saying
were you
was a fan of Britney Spears. I'm like
John was a fan of Britney Spears.
I mean, I was like that anti kid, you know what I mean? Like that kid who like, I don't like this because everybody else does.
Okay, I'll say I was a fan of Britney Spears. I mean, at one point
she was big when we were in fourth. I specifically remember she was big when we were in fourth grade, and that's still like for me that was still the age of like, girls are gross and girls aren't as good, you know. And
I think there was some crossover with.
I was like Backstreet Boys rule, Britney Spears drools. Like that was my take. That was my 9-year-old John hot take.
Well, I mean,
Felix had a crush on her. Felix is a little younger than us, so I could see like a little kid crush on her.
I mean, or he had he just likes bald women. You know, maybe it was that
dude
era.
I mean, she's definitely got a corner on that market. You know,
you never know.
She might be one of the better looking women who's ever been bald. It's not a huge category, you know.
Who's ever been bald, or like best looking while bald? Like, what are you?
Like, okay, I mean, she's definitely leading the category of like was good looking and was also bald, you know, but was good looking while bald. I don't know. Michael says she used to be a hottie.
I don't know if you're a big fan, but like Jada Smith got to be kind of up there, right? Alopecia.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yep, Jada Pinkett,
attractive lady.
Jada Pinkett Smith.
Kanye, what's up? What's up, yay?
Drew with 2 W's and a picture of Kanye in the profile pic. He says, "Yo, why I get a text saying y'all are giving away gift cards?" We are giving away gift cards to DAP Sports. Every 25 likes on the video. We're gonna talk hoops too. We're gonna talk free agency signings and stuff like that. So yeah, like the video. Every 25 likes. I see us at 15 right now. That's what I got. So 15. We get 10 more. We're going to give away a $25 gift card. If we get to 50, like once we get to 50, I will give one away. I will instantly give a gift card away at 50 likes. At 25, then we're going to kind of like wait until we either hit 50 or we get to the end of the show. So
yeah,
Hit Me Baby One More Time was lit.
That was just like too overplayed, right?
It was too overplayed.
I disagree.
It wasn't played enough. You're like, more. I need more.
I was never a radio
Hit Me Baby
kid.
20 to 30 more times a day.
Even back in the era where that was the normal thing, I was never a radio guy. Maybe like MTV, like watching music videos. So maybe we have a different relationship with that song, because that was the like schoolgirl, the iconic look, right? Like yeah. I mean, it was all right.
Yeah, you were okay with it.
I was a big fan.
I'm feeling things in the middle section of my body when I watch this.
That video didn't stop existing after 4th grade, John.
You went back, huh? Like you went to the.
She wasn't popular for only a year. It's still got to be one of her most popular songs.
Oh yeah, it's probably her most popular song of all time for sure.
So I just
haven't thought, like, I don't think about that song on a regular basis. I think about that song maybe once every quarterly.
I'm just saying that imagery will find you.
Yolanda says she likes her first record. Travis is trying to be like, guys, stop talking about Britney Spears. Talk about basketball. The reason we got onto this because we were talking about Summer League, Travis. We're talking about Wemby and his security guard not slapping Britney Spears.
And they're not going to do anything about it. The police stopped investigating after the video came out. She actually hit herself. Like, the guy never turns around. I saw the video. I saw a breakdown of it. And she puts her hand on Wemby, which is like, okay, if you don't know who that is, that's not okay. I mean, if you don't know that it's Britney Spears, they probably wouldn't have done that. They knew that, but they didn't know it was her. She comes walking up from behind them, and they're all walking as a posse. And his security is right there. Well, I mean, what do you call your security except for your posse? I mean, come on. He just sees a hand
posse is just a weird word. I wouldn't use the word posse, I don't think, but yeah. All right.
Whatever, man.
But you're correct. It is a posse. That is right. Yeah. Yes.
They're literally walking in tow.
By definition.
He sees a hand go up on his shoulder and he goes, nope. He doesn't even look around. It's just like a clear move. And her hand goes,
don't touch the big guy. Yeah.
Her hand slaps herself in the face. And then she plays it up big.
Couple notes for you, Casey, now that you've kind of outed yourself here. And this is, I actually do remember this. Casey, Adam, always getting Casey's goat here. But by the way, and I do remember.
I was in middle school.
Brittany was 16 during Baby One More Time.
Yeah, we were younger than that.
We were in 4th grade when Baby One More Time was big. So
yeah,
I'm gonna just go out on a limb and say, hopefully you haven't revisited the video since you have been an adult.
No, man, what are we talking about? Like, seriously, that is. By the way, who did you guys have crushes on when you were in 4th, 5th grade? Like,
I remember actually specifically.
It would be way weirder if I was like, y'all know that 35-year-old when we were in 4th grade.
I remember specifically my celebrity crush she was also like kind of a child actor, was Kirsten Dunst. So
she might be older.
She is older than Britney Spears, but she was like she was a kid in Jumanji.
I guess that's the thing. Yeah,
she was like a kid in Jumanji, right? So
JoJo's way younger. Felix is younger than us, though.
Felix is younger than us.
I mean, also I'm thinking about, I only know one JoJo, and that's barely.
Mike giving us the news. Scoot hurt his shoulder tonight in a summer league game.
Oh no.
Bad. Any outlook on the Scoot injury? I mean, I'm not gonna Google it because I'm like live. So if one of you guys in the chat wants to Google the Scoot injury for me, that would be helpful.
I think it's not that serious, honestly. I think it's likely he's gonna be tough. He's gonna tough it out. He'll probably have a better season. I
don't think you need your shoulder to play basketball, right?
No, that's
people play without shoulders all the time. Yeah. 20 likes on the video right now. Get it to 25, and we will owe you one gift card. All right, should we talk about some like free agency stuff now that we're outside?
Oh yeah, I get it. Okay, Jumanji.
Yeah, Robin.
Why didn't you grab the game, Peter? That's one of my favorite quotes from a movie, and I have no idea why.
I rarely like remakes, but I actually did like the Jumanji remake a lot. I haven't seen the second one, but
honestly, I'm not.
The first Jumanji remake was good.
I didn't dislike the movie. I'm not saying that, but like we're really flirting with. Is that a remake? Like that's almost.
It was reimagined. Yeah,
reimagined for sure. Sure.
Yeah, no, it was good though. I liked it, and they tied into the first one. You know what I mean? Like, it was good.
Well enough. Yeah, it was fine. I don't think I've seen the next new one, or maybe I did.
There's a sequel, and I haven't seen that. Yeah,
Jack Black is hilarious in that, playing the like teen. I mean, in the first one at least, teenage girl. Like that's hilarious. Just the imagery of him. It's hilarious.
Yolanda doesn't even want us to talk basketball.
Is she all favorite movies? Oh man, rapid fire, just some.
Wedding Crashers. Before we get into that, Yolanda, Casey says Wedding Crashers.
Always comes to mind. Right?
This is the kind of stuff we talk about in the after party. So
very true.
So Yolanda, the way we do our gift card giveaways, if you haven't been here before, maybe you have, but I'll tell everybody. The way we do our gift card giveaways is, like I said, every 25 likes on the video, we do a $25 gift card. We give those away in our private community on playback.tv/triplecross. There is not a link in the description for that.
I just realized that, and I'm dropping.
There is no a description, but Casey is going to create a description that has a link in it, and it's playback.tv/triplecross. That's where you go to, so you can actually watch the show there too. Like the show is live on Play. So if you guys want to go to Playback, it's live there. We are there. I don't think we have the show streaming there, but that's all right. Casey can fix that as well.
Hey, we're working on stuff.
Yeah,
I think it is streaming. Oh, I forgot to hit one button.
Yep, there you go.
All right, should be good now. And we do have the link in the description. You can go find us on Playback. Like John said, it is streaming there.
Yeah,
it looks like we are good there now. So,
Michael, Enrique, you saying you think Andrew Keegan is going to have a good summer league? What's the Andrew Keegan reference here? Favorite movies, though, that's the kind of stuff we talk about in the after party, which is where we give away a lot of our gift cards after the show.
We'll give Yolanda a taste. I gave her a little one taste.
Yeah, you're a big Wedding Crashers fan. I mean, look, Casey and I are both big dumb comedy fans.
The meatloaf.
What is she even doing in there?
I never know what she's doing.
I never know what she's doing in there. So going more serious direction, I'm a big fan of Shawshank. Shawshank Redemption's a good one. That's one. That's a taste. Let's talk about basketball now, huh?
All right. Who would be better in their prime at basketball, Morgan Freeman or Timothy Robbins?
I think Morgan Freeman was born at 70 years old.
I was gonna say Tim Robbins too.
He came out of Morgan Freeman birth. He was already 70. Like that guy's been old for so long.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't think he was ever famous before he was old.
He didn't cry as a baby.
I'm thinking of what was that movie he was in? Sometimes in the lives. Lean on Me. That that's like the youngest I've seen him.
Stand By Me?
Is it Stand By Me?
Lean on Me is the song.
Yeah, maybe the movie's called Stand By Me. I can't remember. These are
that's the kids.
Yeah,
I didn't even know
it's kids. It's like a high school, and all the kids are like troubled.
It's been a minute, man. I don't think I've even seen it. Is Lean on Me, maybe. Okay.
Yvonne says it's our first time listening. Yvonne, you got to like the video. Once we get to 25, we're going to do $25 gift card giveaway. And then that's going to happen on playback.tv/triplecross. The link to that is in the description. Yolanda says it is Stand On By Me, or it is Lean On Me. And she also says Morgan would be better at basketball than Tim Robbins in their prime.
Why?
Say more, Yolanda, because I don't buy it. Andrew's here.
Modern Day Explorer says it's Stand By Me over on Playback, though. So we got some.
Oh boy. Oh, we got some. Modern Day Explorer says Stand By Me is the movie. Okay. Casey, I don't know how I feel about the mobile mic for you. I'm going to tell you the jury. I'm going to tell you the jury's out on my end.
Jury is back. They have.
You really like moving it around.
Again. They're back home. Jury duty's over.
You like to put it up against your lips, which is a little strange.
What do you mean? Sorry, guys.
Yeah, that was not great. It was not great.
Well, they got the joke. It was
joke. Okay, free agency signings. Let's give them a grade. What do y'all think about? I don't know. Some of them I don't really care about that much, but I'm going to hit the ones I care about. And if you guys care about other ones, tell me and we can talk about it. But so first up, let's go with Fred VanVleet. Freddie VV got the bag, went to Houston, 3 years, $128 million. For reference, I'll give you like a reference point on this.
Please.
Kyrie went 3 years, $126 million. So Freddie's got a bigger bag than Kyrie on a 3-year deal. Kyrie re-signed with Dallas, 3 years, 126. Fred VanVleet, 3 years, 128 in Houston. Give him a grade. Houston, is this a good deal for Houston? Let me know, chat. And Casey, also you let me know. 3 years, 128. So that is, what is that? A little over 40 million a year, 43 million a year, something like that.
Yeah, almost.
I mean, that's a decent bit of their cap space, but they could still, so between him and Dylan Brooks, they could still sign like one more max contract probably if they're willing to pay the tax.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a good move, right? Like you got money to spend. You don't have the players you need. NBA free agency is kind of weird to me, honestly, just being from the NFL world more so. There's just, I said it off camera or off mic, but when one starter moves from one team to the next, that's 20% of your starting lineup has flipped. And if you're, a team like that where you have multiple starters who are changing, like it's a whole new team. So how do you really project what they'll look like together? It's harder. It's not just like the essence of the team is the same with one different piece. I'm used to like a pretty big transaction would be like one of our 22 starters is now different. Like that's a big deal.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm your passenger on Playback. Here, let me see if I can actually like share the Playback chat here. Boom. Yep. I'm your passenger says overpaid. He thinks Fred VanVleet, he thinks that's a little steep. Yolanda says Fred VanVleet has championship experience. He's a vet. Yeah. Let me put it this way. I love Fred VanVleet. I think he deserves the money. I think that it's a pretty good grab for Houston generally. However, I don't think he's a piece that makes you a contender. I don't think Dylan Brooks is a piece that makes you a contender. Houston's still a long way off from being any kind of contender. And it's also like unclear what they're doing. Like what is even going on over there? It's unclear what they're doing. Like,
I have a question that really pertains to this value thing with VanVleet. Does Drake follow him with his fanship, or is he loyal to the soil?
I don't think so. I think he's loyal to the soil.
Then
he's loyal to, what is it? The 6, what is their area code? He's loyal to it, whatever it is.
Do they even have area codes in Canada?
Yeah, like he's like, I think they say it. I think he says it a lot. Like, yeah, he's loyal to the 6. Yeah, he's loyal to the soil. He's a Toronto guy, man. He's a Toronto dude. All right. So that's VanVleet. Kyrie, 3 years, 126. What do you think? I think this is
say that like 50% slower.
Kyrie, 3-year deal, $126 million with the Mavs.
Right, you did say that one already once.
Okay. I don't love it. I mean, I guess I'm just like down on Kyrie generally. I actually just don't love the move to re-sign him. I guess maybe they plan on getting other pieces around him and stuff like that. But
you were hotter on the trade for him than this re-signing.
I was hotter on like doing I guess they couldn't trade him, right? So maybe they signed him so that they can trade him. So I'd be up for that. But trading away all their defense clearly wasn't that good of a move. They need a different piece to work with Luka. I don't think Kyrie and Luka actually work all that well together. But you know what? Then Felix says Van Vliet deserves it for his fantasy stats. Felix, what do you think about Kyrie? He says Kyrie is not worth it if LeBron doesn't join as well. I mean, it's a pipe dream, Felix. LeBron is not going to Dallas.
Oh man,
Felix is like, don't tell me that. I'm just telling you, dude. Like, don't get your hopes up. LeBron is not going to Dallas.
Is LeBron even the same thing? I mean, does LeBron
would bring some defense. Anymore? He'd bring some all-around play. Like, actually, LeBron would be a decent piece to plug in there. But LeBron's that kind of player who, now that he's like aging into not being a role player, but not being a first best player, being like a second best player, third best player on the team, like he'd be a great piece for Dallas, honestly. But you could say that about anyone. LeBron's like a great plug-in piece at this point to like put you over the top if you already have a good group. So I think everybody would love LeBron and Dallas. Felix said there were rumors. Yes, there were there's rumors because it's like, hey, we got to talk about something. Let's talk about maybe LeBron going to Dallas. That'd be fun. Like, I actually heard LeBron is going to Milwaukee. That's a rumor.
I heard he was going to Miami.
Yeah, him and Dame actually
going back
to Miami, taking their talents to South Beach. There's a rumor right there. Boom. Kyrie got skill. He left in the middle of the season. Yeah, I mean, Kyrie. No, I actually wouldn't say it's Kyrie's fault that the Mavs were bad. I think it was just generally like he played fine, but he did him. Like he did what Kyrie does, which is not play great defense, and Luka also doesn't play great defense. So the Mavs are like, hey, let's just try and score more points than the other team, and they didn't. Like after they got Kyrie, so they're gonna have to figure out a way to maybe get the other team to score less points so that they can beat them. All right. Other than that, let's run through these real quick. Cam Thomas, 4 years, 108 million. So that's what, $27 million a year. Casey, any strong feelings about this one? That's Brooklyn re-signing Cam Thomas. He was part of that Kevin Durant trade in the middle of the season with Phoenix. I don't have strong feelings here. I think 108's maybe a little steep for him, but that's about the kind of player he is. I just don't really get what the Nets are doing.
I mean, what else is new? You know, like I guess actually, even when you did get what the Nets were doing, were they successful really in that?
No.
I mean, like, maybe that's what they're thinking.
If it's like, hey, Mikal Bridges, Cam Thomas, let's make sure we have those pieces in place, and then let's have the assets to acquire somebody big, then I guess that's what they're doing. Kyle Kuzma, 4 years, 102 million. I think that's why I don't like the Cam Thomas deal, because I think Kyle Kuzma is much better than Cam Thomas. Kyle Kuz at 102 over 4 years. I think that's about right for him. Chris, go ahead.
I'm noticing I'm Your Passenger. I don't know if they're the one who said it might have been an overpay for somebody else earlier too, but they said Cam Thomas, it might be a bit of an overpay unless they utilize him more. And I think
that's it. I think everybody's like, how do you use him? He's a 3-and-D player, right? But then he can kind of go off. But that's all 3-and-D players. All 3-and-D players. And are you banking on some more development,
games. Like Bridges himself? Like, what did we even just see last year? Like some kind of like weird breakout into a different type of player. You know, so combinations mean a lot. And I mean, if you're trying to keep guys around and build around them, you gotta sign them. And as far as I know, the NBA isn't very big on like hometown discount. I know it's not hometown, but like staying with the team discounts.
A guy in Cam Thomas's current situation is like he's coming off, like he's getting into like the space where he can get veteran deals. He's getting his bag, right? So he's not in the space where he gives discounts to try and win ring championships. He's like, I'm getting my money, and then on my next contract, maybe I'm doing something like that. And he's not a star. He's like a role player. So yeah,
and that's when
you're a role player, you get the money you can get.
I think in free agency in particular, it's not like these are guys on the. I guess he was a part of a trade, but it's not like this. They're taking on a contract from the trade. Usually in free agency, you have to overpay. That's kind of what free agency is. Like you wish you could replace with younger talent, maybe with players that are better for cheaper, or a player trying to get a ring. You could replace like a veteran player who's still better for cheaper. But when you got to go to free agency to finish out a starting lineup, or even in re-signing your own players in the NBA, especially, I guess that just doesn't surprise me that you could chalk up most of them as overpayments. I think.
Yeah. We've got, who else we got here? Just running through these really quick. 4 years, 102 for Kyle Kuz. 3 years, 102 for Chris Middleton. 4 years, 100 million for Draymond Green. Any feelings on the three of those, Casey? Draymond's probably the one you're gonna.
Yeah, I mean Draymond, I go in and out with him. Tell me the details on that one again, real quick.
4 years, 100 million.
I mean,
he didn't take a max. He didn't take a max. He took
that's the kind of
money.
We talked about it, and that's kind of the deal they needed him to take for them to have some room to move around to make some other moves. I like it. I think that while he's one of one, you know what I mean? And if you decided that we're keeping that one, he's not a guy you're going to be able to replace. I don't think with quite the same thing. I think it's pretty common that people beg the question, is he overrated as a player? But at the same time,
he is on any other team. He has a lot of value to the Warriors, I think.
Right. And how do you replace what he does exactly for the Warriors cheaper? Really? I don't know. I just don't see it.
Plus he's got the pod, so that's
it.
Got to keep him to keep the pod. Chris Middleton. So that was the one. Chris Middleton was a high value. Yolanda nailed it. Chris Middleton, it was a high value trade. 3 years, 102, because he just had a bad year and a contract year. They kind of got him for a steal. He's much better than 3 years, 102, but who knows? Like maybe he just won't recover from this injury, and that's what he is. So Chris Middleton at his best, though, 3 years, 102 that's a steal for the Bucks. And I don't know, something about the Bucks, people just kind of stay. They re-signed Brook Lopez too, which we can get to later. But all right, next one's Jakob Poeltl, 4 years, 80 million. Herb Jones, 4 years, 54 million with the Pelicans. Those are both re-signings to the same team. Rui Hachimura, 3 years, 51 million, also a re-signing. Jakob Poeltl seems a little expensive to me, but if Toronto fans want to tell me I'm wrong, I'm up for it. Any other feelings about any of those three? I think Lakers actually 3 years, 51 million for Rui Hachimura. That's a good deal for the Lakers.
It's good. I guess they saw what they needed to see. I guess I just don't even know how to feel about the Lakers. They have like an identity crisis, like perpetually going on. It seems like so. I don't know. Like,
all right, biggest one from the first day of free agency, because there's a bunch to get through, so I'm kind of rushing through here. 5 years, 160 million for Jeremy Grant. To me, it seems like too big of a commitment. Now you've just made him a tough piece to move. So they're kind of like committing to like, I guess, building around Jeremy Grant, but he's like not a good enough piece to build around, especially when
they must disagree though. I mean, you don't shell out like you said.
I guess, maybe
it's not news to anyone. It's not news to anyone that he'd be hard to unload with that contract. So you must not be looking to unload him in that time frame, or at least during like with longer contracts. I think this spans across most sports. It only speaks to earlier on.
Well, it's about 32 million.
You could find a trade partner maybe to pick up like the back half or last couple,
Right. Yeah. So it's 32 million a year. It's probably not equally distributed, but let's say it is 32 million a year. It's not impossible to move, but if he goes the other way, if he goes one direct, it basically makes him like really easy to move if he gets a lot better. And then if he gets a lot worse, it's like, oh my gosh, you're sitting on an awful contract with Jeremy Grant. So it's kind of like just a high risk, high reward contract. Bruce Brown from the Nuggets signs a 2-year, $45 million deal with the Pacers. Wanted to move on from the Nuggets. Kobe White, 3 years, $33 million. Gabe Vincent showing out in the playoffs for the Heat, signs with the Lakers, 3 years, $33 million, $11 million a year. Good job. Cavs re-signed Karis LeVert for 2 years, $32 million. Cavs also signed George Niang coming from Philly, 3 years, $26 million. Raptors signed Dennis Schroeder, 2 years, $25 million. Magic signed Joe Ingles from the Bucks, 2 years, $22 million. And I mean, that's all the ones I really care about. There's a couple more here, but a couple other cheap ones really quick. Reggie Jackson, Denver signed him for 2 years, 10.25. Shake Milton, Minnesota signed him for 2 years, 10 million. Seth Curry, Dallas signed him for 2 years, 9.2 million. Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Kevin Love got re-signed to Miami for 2 years, 7.7 million. I think that's actually a great deal for Miami. Derrick Rose went to Memphis, 2 years, 6.5 million, probably looking for him to be a mentor to John Morant. So $3.25 million for a couple years, probably a pretty good deal. And that's all I really care about. Bunch of minimum signings as well. Anybody have feelings about any of those? Casey, you have any feelings about any of those?
No.
Yeah. The Bruce Brown one's a little weird. I think he could have made more money in Denver, but guess just wanted to move on. I think Karis LeVert's a steal for Cleveland, but he really hasn't shown out in Cleveland. I think we'll see if Gabe Vincent. Miami has this way of guys being like really good in the playoffs. Like a few years ago, it was Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, and then just kind of like not actually being that good. So we'll see what happens with Gabe.
Is that true about Brown though? That you think he has more opportunity to make money in Denver? Because
I think they. I
don't
think
know their
they.
contract situations, but
I think
they have a good young
they're able
core.
to pay him more. Yeah.
But they have such. I mean, I don't know when the paydays are coming up for some of these other guys that take priority. You know, plus they got Strawther,
I think
who's
I
new
believe
NBA
they offered
phenom.
him. I believe they offered him his max extension, and so like
Oh.
they're able to offer more. So yeah,
I didn't realize.
And I could be wrong on that, but you know, if somebody wants to correct me, they can. Yolanda is saying Chris Paul was a good deal. Yeah, I think that was a trade though, not a sign.
Hey, it's okay. Hey, that's all right. We don't.
Yes,
all right.
we're talking about signings. Gosh, Yolanda.
I'm liking Yolanda early running for Chat MVP. I'm liking Yolanda's takes.
Early in.
Yolanda, head on over to Playback for sure. We want you over there. That's another game we play sometimes. Maybe we'll do it today. I don't know. Sometimes we give out one of our gift cards based on who we think the MVP overall of the episode in the chat was. So
Harrison Barnes, good deal. Yep. I like that one. Dante to the Knicks, a good deal. Yeah. Harrison Barnes, kind of a disappointing player in the league, but
where did he go?
Where did he now right direction. I'll get there.
Okay.
If he was a free agency signing, I'll get there. So, all right, let me get back to. I'll just like there's so many of them, so I have to remind myself of all of them. Okay, so let's go to day 2 of free agency. So Dylan Brooks to the Rockets, 4 years, $80 million. I think Brooks and Van Vliet is kind of a strange pairing, but that's just me. What do I know? Brooks is a dog, right? Every team can use a dog. So I guess it's good.
Yep.
Good job.
We got an update here from Modern Day Explorer. I haven't vetted this, but I'll just assume it's true. Yep. They say that Bruce declined a player option here worth only 6.8 million. So a lot less to stay in Denver. Fair enough.
All right. Well, then I would have done the same thing. Bruce is in that. That's what happens a lot when a team wins a ring. If you were like a part of it, like if you were a key piece, is a team does really well and then they lose kind of like their 6-man, right? Like because they're going to go to pay it somewhere.
But that's a player option. I mean, that's not even a team option. So the team could have offered him anything they wanted. So yeah, they just didn't prioritize him as much as
as their other signings. Yeah. Max Strus re-signed with Miami, then traded to Cleveland, 4 years, $63 million. I mean, if he plays like he played in the playoffs, 4 years, $63 million is a steal on that guy. And Cleveland's excited about him for sure. He's looking to be like they're looking at him as a potential starter in Cleveland. Another steal, 4 years, $56 million for Austin Reeves in Los Angeles. There was speculation that he was going to be demanding a super max, like he was going to be demanding a max deal. That he had earned it, and I'm not arguing. I think he earned the money, but the Lakers can't really afford to pay him that. So there were speculation the Lakers were going to lose him. He decided to resign for less money, which interesting. I kind of like it, kind of dig it. What do you think, Casey? He's another one that's in that phase of like, if you're going to get a bag, and now is the time, and he kind of didn't.
I think the whole
$14 million a year. I mean, he could have gotten a lot more.
The max, super max stuff. Honestly, it's not my forte. If we want to talk,
I think that I don't know what Austin Reeves' possibility was, but I gotta think he could have probably gotten about $25 million a year somewhere. So it seems like he gave up. I think he probably gave up around $10 million a year.
Which maybe. I mean, I guess we don't know what all his offers were, but I can see how somebody goes, no, this is where I want to be in LA. It's got a lot of history there. If he could be a part of like kind of getting them back on top or something, there's reasons why somebody would take less to stay with the Lakers, I guess, for sure. And it does feel like
you're probably going to have more endorsement deals and stuff like that in LA.
Big time. Higher taxes though. Like there's a lot of stuff to consider, but I mean, it makes sense. And it's at a certain point, honestly, I know this is not like a popular thing to say for any athletes, but at a certain point, like how many more millions, like how many more millions actually matter when you're already talking in tens of millions of dollars?
Well, I think it just depends if you're
I just think there's
someone who makes good
in there.
I think it depends if someone who makes good use of your money. I mean, most athletes, most NBA players, the path for them is like there's a certain point in their career, usually like after that kind of rookie deal, where it's like, hey, get the bag, get as much money as you can, and then you can worry about that stuff. Like then you're set for life, then you can worry about that stuff later. But yeah, Dante DiVincenzo to the Knicks. Michael likes that deal. He's a Knicks fan. 4 years, $50 million. I'm gonna be honest, 4 years, $50 million seems a little steep for Dante to me, but you could still trade. You can still move him at only $12.5 million a year. Brook Lopez to the Bucks, 2 years, $48 million, $24 million a year, probably about his value.
That feels high to me, but I mean, he's a good player.
2 years. It's right for 2 years. It's right for 2 years. If it was 4 years at $24 million a year, yeah,
because he's up there in age, right? I mean,
he's getting older. Yeah, but he's a good vet. He like actually had a great season.
He's the guy who, like, even if he does like kind of fall off a little bit or something, like he can still play a role because he's just kind of a unique. He's one of those more unique, like big guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's not just clunking around down in the paint, and that's all he does.
So, running through a few other ones here. D'Angelo Russell, 2 years, $37 million in Los Angeles. Significant pay reduction for him. Jock Landale, 4 years, $32 million to Houston, coming from Phoenix. Kind of as they realized DeAndre Ayton ain't him, kind of moved Jock Landale in for more minutes, but they didn't re-sign him. Houston got him. 4 years, $32 million. It's only $8 million a year, right?
Felix says we should be talking post-taxes revenue, but I'm like, Felix, Felix, you're not even from the U.S. Like, are you?
That's not how people do things here. Is that how you do things here? Like, you talk about how much money they're going to make after taxes?
Well, I mean, I get
because that's different in every state, dude.
That's why I'm wondering why he like is that because he knows there's a big difference state to state potentially, or because he doesn't know?
Yeah, or he's like, maybe that's just how people refer to money. And yeah,
for any of our international fans, I will say, yeah, state to state's going to make a big difference for your bottom line.
Anyway, so that's Jock Landale. Mo Wagner, 2 years, $16 million, re-signed with the Magic. Josh Powell re-signed with the Mavericks, 3 years, $12 million. And Russell Westbrook, 2 years, $7.9 million. Any feelings on any of those? I think we finally right directioned Russell Westbrook's pay. After his MVP season, he got a bag, and that bag just expired. And 2 years, $7.9 million for Russ for the Clippers. I actually think I've poo-pooed on Russ a lot. I love Russ at $4 million a year. He's a dog. He plays defense. Like, he plays tough. He like wants to win.
Yeah.
It's like $4 million a year.
That's second unit money, right? Like,
yeah. I mean, actually great deal for second unit money. So $4 million a year. Love Russ at that price.
John, I got a question for you. Do you remember Kev Gons? Do you remember him?
Do I remember him?
Do you remember Kev?
I remember him. Kev, what's up, buddy?
Kev?
What up, Kev? Richard is here too, former Jersey winner. Good job, Richard. Good job making it. They got rid of Jordan Poole fast. Yeah, that was a poison in the Warriors system that they got rid of. Good job, Warriors. What else do we got here? Yeah, that was it. That was kind of all of the free agency signings. What do you guys like? What do you guys not like? Yeah, Harrison Barnes, I think, re-signed with Sacramento, right? How did I miss that one? What do you guys like? What do you guys not like? Casey, any overall thoughts on free agency signing? Or are you just kind of like, I don't know, man? Wait, one other thing that happened during free agency is Twitter, like, people found out that there's a cap on the number of times you can update Twitter feeds. It's like 500 times a day.
I did not know that either. So
yeah, so people were hitting the cap. They're like, it's free agency. Twitter, what are you doing to me? In fact, Jared even asked me, he's like, hey, because he knows I have Twitter Blue. He's like, if you have Twitter Blue, do you have no cap on how many times you can update? Because I might just pay for it just for that. He was kind of freaking out that he couldn't get his updates.
Thanks, Elon.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Elon. Yeah, but some people found that up. Hey, just a heads up, everybody. We're at 24 likes right now. If we get to 25 likes, we're going to give away a $25 gift card to DAP Sports. Kev says he never got his. Kev, you could double check your email.
We have to remedy that.
If you didn't, we'll get it. We'll get it taken care of. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'll check
Felix says you guys should guess which the most profitable NBA team, and you could do the same for the NFL. I bet none of them are really that profitable, honestly. Like, they might, the teams, and it depends what you count for revenue, but like they might mostly operate at like a loss.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
The most profitable ones are probably the ones that just like don't pay the tax. Like Denver's probably a pretty highly profitable team.
No, I think it's. I mean, depending on how like proper we have to be with this, I think it's the ones that like the Cowboys, for example.
Yeah.
In the NFL, they build like a whole like little city around their stadium, and they own all those shops, and you know what I mean. Like
that's true. That's true.
They've kind of made a whole thing for themselves. Like the good businessmen are gonna make good business.
Oh, interesting. Felix says most profitable is the Knicks, and in the NFL it's the Cowboys.
Called it on. I know my NFL. You know, I don't
the
even
Knicks.
Like
the Knicks makes a lot of sense because I don't think they're paying the luxury tax, but they're still the Knicks, right?
And they're also in New York, so like
major market team.
Same vein. I'm sure they have some extra stores and whatnot.
Yeah. We are at 25 likes, so we do owe you guys a $25 gift card to DAP Sports. If we get to 50, as soon as we get to 50, I will do a $25 gift card giveaway. If we don't get to 50, we do them at the end, but I'll do one during the show once we hit 50. So $25 gift card. The way that you claim it, though, is you got to be in our private community. So that's playback.tv/triplecross. There is a link in the description to that. You can watch the show over there if you want. We are watching the chat over there as well. Modern Day Explorer calling out Threads by Instagram. Going to have to go to Threads for news now because Twitter only updates 500 times a day. 500, that sounded like an exaggeration. Twitter only updates 500 times a day. Like, no, it's an issue. It needs to be more than 500 when it's during free agency. Last thing I think on basketball for me is should we speculate about Dame trade rumors?
Go ahead. Yeah, please do.
So the main two talks are Jaylen Brown plus, what is it? It's Jaylen Brown plus draft capital. Let me find the proposal here just so I don't misspeak. So Blazers receive Jaylen Brown, Grant Williams, salary fillers, and draft comp. Celtics receive Damian Lillard. So that would make the Celtics look like Dame, Tatum, Kristaps, and some other people. Grant Williams would be gone, so we'd still have Robert Williams. We still have Al Horford. Celtics would go from being real small to being real big.
What's up?
Malcolm Brogdon, Peyton Pritchard. That'd kind of be the rotation. And in Portland, it would be Jaylen Brown, Scoot Henderson. Who else did Portland just acquire? I mean, Josh Hart. Is he staying in Portland? Yeah, I think so. I mean, Portland would just be in rebuild, which I don't think Jaylen Brown wants to be a part of a rebuild. I think he would like to continue to be a contender, but I guess if they trade him, it's not really his choice, right?
Correct. And also,
Dame did. Oh yeah. So for everybody, Dame actually did finally request a trade, which I think I'm down on. I'm actually fine with Dame requesting a trade. I'm fine with him ring chasing. And what's really cool is a lot of the Portland fans like posted on social media afterwards and we're like, hey, thanks for everything. Go get your ring. Yeah. Go get your ring. You deserve it. Like, I love that because usually fans, as soon as a player requests a trade, everybody turns on him. So I love that the fans did that. What I don't like is that Portland pushed him to request it. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're like, we're not going to trade him unless he requests it. And who knows, maybe they won't trade him anyway. But yeah,
again, I
don't love that. I think they should just have been looking to rebuild this whole time and they should just be liquidating him for assets. But he does want to be traded. I think he wants to be traded to Miami. New York and Brooklyn have both been other rumors. Yeah, Josh Hart is with the Knicks. Yeah, he was part of that Portland. He was part of that trade earlier this year. You're right. Did you have something to say about that, Casey?
No, the NBA is a delicate environment, and I guess I don't hate that they made him request the trade because even the last time I talked about it, if you're them and he's not requesting one, are you in the business of getting rid of players of that caliber? Like,
yeah, that's a normal thing in the NBA to rebuild, though. Liquidate players while they're still valuable and rebuild.
I don't know, rebuilding.
Especially, it's just clear that it's not working. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't even make the playoffs this year. Like,
right. But that's kind of that out of the other side of my mouth. Like, if Jaylen Brown ends up there, like, sure, yeah, he's going to a worse team, definitely. But that's a team that if they acquire a piece like him, and Scoot, big Scoot fan. It's not like they couldn't be trending up really quickly.
If you're high on Scoot, then you might think they're trending up. I think everyone thinks Miami. So here we go. Mike, Dame's going to Miami. Miami's dangerous squad. In playback here, Kev Gon says hopefully to the Heat. Didn't Modern Day Explorer says, isn't it Miami or nowhere? I don't know if he actually said that. Maybe he did. But yeah, everybody thinks Miami, but from what I've heard, they can't really get the deal done. This is, I don't know if this was Shams. I would trust if it was Shams. I don't know if I heard this from Shams or someone else, but from what I've heard, they can't really get the deal done directly with Portland, so they would have to involve other teams. Also, think about off-season trades. And off-season trade rumors. Here's a great example. Utah trading Donovan Mitchell. He's going to New York. Everyone knows he's going to New York.
Yep.
Where is he now? He's not in New York. Like, he's in Cleveland. So I think that's like where everybody thinks the offseason trade is going. Like, we just don't see behind the closed doors. Kyrie going to Dallas. Nobody really knows what's going to happen. Sometimes the obvious thing does happen, but I think more often than not in the NBA, the obvious thing doesn't happen. So Dame to Miami, to me, I mean, it'd be great if they could pull it off, but Miami's a contender. They're not going to like really mess up their whole squad just to get Dame. So Portland has to be really willing to commit to a rebuild and just like take all the draft capital, take young talent, like take basically they're just freeing up salary space. They have to be willing to do what Utah did with Russell Westbrook and basically give away assets for no assets, just to free up salary cap. So,
Yeah.
Ty, I agree with you on this one. I think Miami is going to fall through. I don't think Pat Riley will ultimately give up what it takes to get Dame.
So I thought you meant like fall through just as a team. Like they're not going to be good.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think they're fine. I think Dame actually does make them a contender, but if they've got to give up their defense, they've got to give up Tyler Herro.
They're a contender anyway. What are we talking about? They were in the finals.
Right. Yeah. If they got to give up Tyler Herro, if they've got to give up their defense, like if they do like a Dallas trade where it's like, oh, we got Kyrie, but it's like, but you gave up like too much, then I don't think then it doesn't work. You need the other pieces. Like, it can't just be Jimmy and Dame and Bam. You need the other pieces.
Yeah.
People don't play 42 minutes. They don't play 82 games, or 48 minutes. They don't play 82 games. So I don't know.
Completely agree.
I'd love to see Dame in Utah. That's been another rumor. Utah has the most capability of getting him. Right. If Portland will commit to a rebuild, like Utah's one, got nothing to lose. And two, they've got all the assets in the world. They're like, how many draft picks you want? We got them all. So
he'd only have to change his clocks like 1 hour instead of 3.
Only have to change his clocks 1 hour, coming back to where he went to college. Does it make Utah a contender? I mean, it depends what they give up. But if you're looking at Larry Markkanen, Dame, Jordan Clarkson, I mean, yeah, like they all of a sudden get very serious if you add Dame to that mix.
Yeah, in your non-biased opinion, right?
Yeah, I mean, they definitely become a playoff team.
That's probably fair. Yeah. I'd say that.
Yeah,
contender to win the whole thing. That feels like a stretch. Maybe, I don't know. Could be wrong.
Yeah, Ty's basically agreeing with me. It's like Miami would have to just like mess with it too much to get Dame. Heat traded a lot of players today already, Kev said. Yeah. I haven't seen the trade updates from today for the Heat. So if you want to fill me in, then we could talk about it. But I think, should we go to a game?
A game? Yeah. I want to play. Let's play a game,
NBA
John.
trade grades. Mavs received Grant Williams. So that Grant Williams trade's off the board because the Mavs just got Grant Williams. Spurs got Reggie Bullock, and the Celtics received 3 second-round picks. Man, that's a bad trade for the Celtics. What is freaking Boston doing? Does anybody know? Nobody knows what they're doing.
They got Porzingis.
I got Matsui.
That's it.
Babe, I got Matsui.
There you go.
Yeah. Where are we at on likes? Yeah, 25, 26. Get it to 50, y'all. Get to 50 likes. We'll do grants on the Mavs. Mike says Dame's not going to Utah. Probably not, but I also don't think he's going to Miami. All right. So here, let me fill in the football squad that we're about to play a game, because we're going to play a crossover game. We're going to feature our good friend NBA District doing some crossover content with NFL District. It's a different district. It's in the NFL. It's not in the NBA.
But it's in the same What's like the next zoom out one from district? Let's land
region.
Fiefdom.
That is what it is in Idaho high school sports.
Wow.
No, it's actually just district and state in Idaho side. But I don't know if we want to base our whole definitions of like territories of land based on that.
Well, speak for yourself, but yeah, no. Yeah. NBA district, the next door neighbor of NFL district.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a cool crossover. I'm excited to play a game. Right, so I don't really know 100% what we're doing.
Yeah, so this first one is gonna be a little quiz for you, Casey, because we're just gonna we're gonna do some NFL x NBA crossover, a little game here.
NBA.
I'm gonna say an NBA player, and you're gonna tell me the NFL player who you think it is. Chat, feel free to chime in. Tell me if you think Casey's right or wrong. Okay. The NBA player, who is the Kyrie Irving of the NFL?
Yeah. Okay. So when I break this down, and by the way, I might need help from the chat, like descriptors, because I'm more of the NFL guy. So
yeah, I think most of these guys are guys you know pretty well.
Okay, good. Fair enough. I don't know what's coming. This is real. This is live. We're doing it live. Okay, so
Kev Gons says Mahomes is the Kyrie Irving of the NFL. No.
The most talented player.
You think a lot of Kev Gons, you think a lot of Kyrie Irving, my guy.
Okay, Kev. Now, I thought your trolling days were over.
Yeah, Kev, stop that.
Kev's trolling again.
Rose, any word about James Harden? As far as I know, no.
Okay, back to the game. So, who is Kyrie Irving? Okay, so I think of like
Go ahead. I
think my first thing that comes to mind is like skilled player, obviously, good player. Very in the news, but as often as not, it's about something off the court or off the field.
Yeah, like almost more often.
Yeah, and I also don't know that. I know he's got a ring, but I don't know that he's one of those guys that you'd consider like helpful in getting over the top and getting a ring necessarily. Like with the
he got the ring. When he got the ring, it was like largely due to him, but then since then he hasn't been.
Right. But yeah, like a lot of people thought
kind of like who's the Eagles quarterback that was not Carson Wentz.
Nick Foles.
Yeah. Kind of Nick. Nah, he's not. He's better than Nick Foles. He's better than Nick Foles.
Yeah, I was thinking of a quarterback actually. Okay. So what do you try this one on for size? I'm thinking Kyler Murray. So like a similar type of thing. He's always in the headlines. He is a highly skilled player, but people are still trending down on him because there's just like, what is even going on? That's kind of how I feel about I think that people thought that the end of last season for Kyrie was going to be awesome because that was like the coolest thing ever that they teamed up there. But yeah, it just felt like kind of Cardinals-y, honestly. Like if you're a fan of both leagues, I think that makes sense. Like the Cardinals, if you don't remember, were the hottest team in football like 2 years ago, halfway through the year. And then they lost almost every single game. First round exit out of the playoffs, like just absolutely messed everything up. And I think that was largely due to Kyler Murray. Maybe I'm taking it too far, but that was my gut reaction.
You're low on Kyler.
All right, chat. What y'all think? He was in our power rankings that we did.
All right, chat. What y'all think? Yolanda also says Mahomes. Man, people are too hot on Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving is not the Patrick Mahomes of the NBA. No, hard no. Yeah. Who is Felix says basically talented but bad vibes. But that's the other thing is like Mahomes doesn't like he's not controversial off the field.
Not even a little bit. Some of the people who surround him, maybe, but not him. He's like the guy.
Felix says he's the Robin that needs a Batman. All right, so you say Kyler Murray. Ty's first idea is AB. That's in the right vein, I think. Like kind of controversial off-field type guy.
I think AB might be even more toxic.
Even more toxic than
I know that that's saying a lot, but like guys, AB has just a quick question. Has he ever like taken off his uniform?
Also said AB. So two people have AB right now. So,
has he ever like stripped and ran off the court in the middle of a game? And just, you know what I mean?
Like, if you told me he had, I'd be like, nah, yeah, that checks out.
Plus, there's like way more. When I say off the field issues, I don't even know if I actually said that, but I said he's always in the headlines and stuff.
Yeah,
AB has issues. Like there's actual like criminal issues. As far as I know, Kyrie is legally.
That's a good point.
Anything, right?
Yeah, like he
like
hasn't
there were like
broken any laws.
sexual allegations against. I mean, this I'm not putting that on Kyrie. But
Yeah.
and if I'm really splitting hairs, AB probably more talented. If I had to push him.
Levon Bell, Kevin says. What do you think about
Yeah,
that?
Le'Veon Bell. I mean, is he even current anymore? I think we were saying current players. I think he retired. I don't know. Dude fell off the face of the earth. Not a terrible one though. Not terrible, but still doesn't feel quite like Lev Bell only made headlines like for not on the field stuff for like really like a season in there, and yeah, he's just not really still around in the same way that Kyrie is. So doesn't feel quite right. I see some people say Odell.
Yeah, Odell Beckham Jr. Mike says Odell Beckham Jr. She said Yolanda said Mahomes, and then she said Russell. So
sorry,
she's
Yolanda.
all over the place.
Yolanda, I'm gonna Yolanda seems to me like a basketball first fan. If I had to guess,
yeah,
I'm not holding that against anybody.
Yeah,
but yeah, Russ
that's also me.
and Mahomes are two of the like goody two shoeiest boys in the NFL, and I just don't get that vibe from Kyrie. Like,
no, he's just a certain kind of individual. That's the best way I could possibly describe him.
Felix gets it too. AB is maybe a bit extreme. I think that's a good word for it. He listens to him on a podcast. I know Felix hasn't watched a ton of American football, so like if you're only like entry point into Antonio Brown, which I don't even think we ever actually said his name. It's Antonio Brown, AB. If your only experience with him is listening to the words he says, dude seems about 100 times crazier because you don't even have like the great football player skills to offset the craziness.
All right, we got some new offerings from the chat. Modern Day Explorer says Terrell Owens, or he says T.O. Not current, but in the right vein, I think.
Actually, I do. As far as not current goes, that one feels pretty right. Okay. Though. That feels good.
Rose said Cam Newton, also not current, but also maybe in the right vein.
Hold on. He is still like he hasn't officially retired. He still wants to play, but not on a roster, I don't think. But Cam also a little more like put the team on my back. I'm the guy.
This is a good point. You're saying like Antonio Brown. You're like he's more talented than Kyrie. Many people say that Kyrie is both the best ball handler and the best finisher that the NBA has ever seen, and I can't even say I disagree with them.
But AB is maybe the most complete receiver of all time,
right? But I don't think we're like comparing apples to oranges here. I think it's like we're talking about two guys who are like kind of like at the top of what they do. Like I don't think it's like, oh yeah, AB is like so much better at football than Kyrie is. I don't think we're there.
I get you, but I think there's a distinction there, even if it's small. Like, you know what I mean? Is he the best guard? Like,
I mean, like a lot of people say he's like the best guard in the league. Yes, a lot of people think he is that.
I guess I just disagree with that is all. So, but
I mean, is Antonio like you think Antonio Brown's the best receiver in the league?
Well, he's not in the league really, but yeah, I mean, he's
like hands down, like undeniably.
The guy gets signed, and then like that same week, he's like going off for like 150 yards and like multiple scores. Like if he's with a decent quarterback, like it's just I wish he was worse, so it'd be easier to hate him. But like he's just undeniably insanely skilled at football and probably any sport he plays.
Yeah. Lamar Jackson, what do you think of that offering?
Lamar, I mean.
Kyler feels more right. Kyler feels more right.
Yeah. Less.
Actually, let me put it this way:
fewer off-field distractions.
I think that Kyler. So the way that you're saying, like Antonio Brown's better than Kyrie, I think Kyrie's better than Kyler Murray in the same way.
Probably that's probably fair, but and Lamar is probably better. Lamar's not a bad one, but it's the off the field stuff.
Lamar's not as off the field controversial. All right, so here's what NBA District has. Michael actually nailed it. NBA District has comparison. Odell Beckham Jr. is the Kyrie Irving of the NBA. Both surrounded with drama and are really flashy players was the justification. So
pretty solid. Pretty solid.
So the poll, and let's see, can I do a poll? Yes, I do. All right. Poll is
I mean, let's see. By that definition though, what is it? What's the both surrounded by drama and really flashy players? If this was substituted with Kyler Murray, I would take a victory lap as well. I think that describes him as well. He's good, but he's flashy is a better descriptor for sure. I think even better than it is for Kyrie or Odell, if I'm being totally honest. Like Kyler is purely flashy. Yeah. Maybe not even as good.
So here's I just put a poll in YouTube, guys. I'm just putting you head to head with NBA District on this one. Just putting you head to head with Mason.
Me?
Just kidding,
Oh
Carter.
boy.
So
Okay.
Kyler Murray or Odell Beckham Jr. are the options. Chat in playback. Tell us who is the Kyrie Irving of the NFL? Is it Odell Beckham Jr. or is it Kyler Murray?
Before you vote, I do want to mention.
Oh, you get to defend your viewpoint.
Well, I just want to say positionally too. Quarterback came to mind because of the skill set a little bit more than you know what I mean. Like if this was like a lob finisher type of guy, I'd be like, well, that's like more like a receiver. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like
you're very literal in the way you compare like the.
Well, what are we even doing here? This is a job, John. I take this shit seriously.
I think I don't know if that's how they're all compared. So I'm just telling you.
If you're trying to guess taking an L on this,
if you're trying to guess them, like this would not be the way to think about the next one if you're trying to guess it. But I'll just let you say who. I'll let you say your piece. All right.
I care less about being right. I appreciate NBA, NFL district, but I don't mind having a different take.
Who is the Rudy Gobert of the NFL?
Boy, okay. Kind of the opposite of flashy, boring maybe, but helpful skill set. But not sexy skill set maybe.
Yeah.
Kind of a physical freak in a certain way just because of the height, but
yeah.
Don't want to make it sound like he's like got insane burst or anything. So this the non-sexy thing that I said really makes me think like a non-sexy position group, like an O lineman or something.
Yeah.
And I'd be kind of surprised if there were any O linemen in the comparison stuff because like why? No. But that's right.
No, it's a skill player. I'll give you that.
But I want to. I might just like say two different answers, maybe like who I think it is and who I think he said it is. Because I would probably
Mike had a good one here. I think maybe this is kind of in the right vein of what you're saying.
Too good. Right? Too good.
That's you're saying that's too obvious.
No, Jason Kelce's too good of a player, I think.
Oh, I guess I don't really know how good Jason Kelce is at being a center.
He's very good.
Okay.
He's very good. I mean,
I know he's very good at podcasting. But
they went to the Super Bowl. Like
I know how much of that is on the center. Some for sure.
I mean,
that's the thing about football is like none of it's very much on anybody.
Any given center, you could say that, but like him in particular, he's the leader.
Like if he's the best center in the league, then
he's the leader of the O-line, and it's not like O-line is some glaring weak. It's like a strength of the team.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would say Rudy Gobert, especially on like a world caliber team, that he's been the strength of like one of the more solid position groups. That would feel like a very big stretch for Rudy.
Yeah. I mean, he's been the defensive player of the year twice. Like he's that like the best of the non-sexy category type of thing.
Yeah. I guess the team success thing kind of comes to mind too, though. Like, because Rudy, does he have what's Rudy's like playoff
on the Jazz, and then he's been on the Timberwolves last year. So second round, been to the second round a bunch of times.
Okay, that makes me think Cowboys big time. It just does. If I'm being honest, that's where they go, and then they're out. Or first,
I will tell you, it's not an offensive lineman. At least NBA district, it's not an offensive. It is a skill player.
Okay. It's got to be non-sexy though, kind of ho hum. I would think, like at least for this comparison, because you're gonna have to do a little of that, but an important skill set. So maybe I'm still thinking like tight end, if nothing else. So I'm gonna.
Yeah, like so both Kelce, you're saying like both Kelce brothers are too good to be Rudy Gobert.
Kind of like so don't give me any hints here. Don't tell me. But if I'm thinking what Carter decided, if I'm listening to your cues without you giving me more, if it's a skill position player, I would just firmly disagree if it's not somebody like more of like a plotting running back who just has size, probably not a ton of speed, and just kind of like a decent yards per carry type of guy. Like a Derrick Henry is way too OP, I think. Even if that's right, I would just disagree. He's too good, I think. I would go with somebody a little less dominant in the league, even though that's the right answer. It seems like it's Derrick Henry. Yeah, I mean your face. It's all over your face.
No. All right, you want me to reveal it? Do you want to say Derrick Henry? Is that your comp?
No, I don't. That is absolutely not my comp. Don't put that on me. All right, real quick, I would say that it would be an O lineman or a tight end first, but I'll leave that just where it was. And as far as who I think he picked, Derrick Henry is too good, but it would need to be somebody big.
So we can already say
like
that you think he might have picked Derrick Henry, but who's your comp?
Just based off your reaction, that was you.
I know.
Yeah, I like an offensive tackle personally. I like an offensive tackle who's a little like maybe too tight, like not a real fluid guy, like a bigger guy, slow. Like a Teron Armstead is not bad, Kev Gons. I like that.
All right, there we go. Teron Armstead.
Yeah,
it's on the board. He went a different way with it, and I definitely see his comp as being like, oh yeah, for the way he went with it, definitely makes sense. It's not Derrick Henry. So,
okay. Is it similar? Is it like a big running back?
The Rudy Gobert of the NFL is Russell Wilson. Both were great players, but got traded and have had disappointing seasons and been disappointing since they were traded, which is making people like, I'm like, I get this because now like the Timberwolves version of Rudy Gobert, people are questioning like, is he even good? Is he even valuable? Kind of like people are doing with Russell Wilson. So I get it. You're like, but again, like he did not go literal with like all right, if it's a point guard, it's got to be a quarterback. If it's a big man, it's got to be
saying it has to be, but I think it's bonus points. Like, you know what I mean? If I'm picking between a few, this one feels wrong. I'm sorry. It just, I mean, I get the justification helps. I like it.
Yeah.
But Carter, I don't know, man. I don't know here because, and maybe it's my misunderstanding of Rudy, but like Russ's fall from grace was from guaranteed Hall of Famer to maybe not a Hall of Famer. Was Rudy Gobert ever really in that kind of rarefied air where it was like guaranteed Hall of Famer, and now it's so far off that like I get that maybe they're saying like he's even worse than Russ is at football now because of the trade. Maybe I could see that, but like,
yeah,
was he ever really that good though?
I would say he is the closest comp to that kind of. He's the closest. Like nobody else has had that kind of fall. You know what I mean? Like that quickly. You know what I mean?
Well, John Morant, but
in the NBA. I mean, Derrick Rose, but for like injury reasons.
Yeah.
And yeah, like nobody else has had that kind of fall where it's just like, oh, maybe he's actually just not good.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I would say that early on, mine and Carter's differences are, I'm definitely more of a play style type of comp guy.
Yes. So results on the first poll: who is the Kyrie Irving of the NFL? You say Kyler Murray. Carter says Odell Beckham Jr. Playback chat says OBJ. YouTube says OBJ. Pretty overwhelmingly.
It's okay. Everybody can be wrong.
The Triple Cross community has Carter's back on this one. So another poll coming out. Let's see who they got. Let's see who they're back.
Oh yeah, I forgot you're doing a poll. Wait, who's going up for my side of the poll then though? I mean,
this is Teron Armstead.
Okay. I mean, I don't hate it. I probably would have picked just a better, more well-known O-lineman, maybe.
Yeah.
I was thinking about the vote, but I'll stick to.
Well, they all heard your justification.
It's fine. Yeah. I mean, I probably, if I was just trying to win the vote, I'd probably just pick Quentin Nelson, even though it's not a good. Or maybe a tight end at least that people know. But
maybe you would have picked Jason Kelce. Actually, that might be I don't know.
No. Well, he's just too good.
Who would you take? That's a tight end. Like nobody's that well known outside Travis Kelce.
That's what I mean. Like if I'm playing for the votes, different game.
I mean, you can play for whatever you want.
I like
but I actually think the first one is a good one because you were kind of like, no, I think this one's right. Like
I kind of like Mike McGlinchey too. He's kind of where I was thinking because he's just like a more stiff offensive tackle. He's got good size. That's kind of what people like, and he's got holes to his game. He's very one-dimensional, like Gobert. Where he doesn't bring everything to the table, but he's very good at one thing. Like Mike McGlinchey, new tackle on the Broncos, coming from the Niners. He's a great run blocker. Horrible pass blocker. I think that would probably have been where I landed.
I actually think I'm with Andrew on this. Ben Simmons with Gobert and Wilson. Ben Simmons is like Russ.
I agree with that way more.
Yeah.
Because there was so much.
But Gobert's the next most like Russ for sure.
And even there, though, is that even fair to Russ? Because, like, did Simmons ever?
No, Simmons was. Neither of them were ever as good as Russ.
It was all hype
for sure.
Russ has rings. Has a ring, I guess.
But neither of them were ever as good as Russ was at his best. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's a tough comparison for me, dog. That's a tough one for me, dog.
Isn't it? All right. So, chat. There's in YouTube. There is a poll. Who is
Kyle Rudolph from Modern Day Explorer would have been a great one for tight end too. That's a great call.
Or you know who else? Another way you could go
Rudolph, Mike McGlinchey.
You know who? Another way you could go is you could go with like a defensive lineman, like a defensive tackle, like a oh my gosh, the dude from the freaking Rams.
I'll force a defensive player into this, but Aaron Donald,
Yeah,
not even nearly as good though. Like,
you don't think Gobert is as good as like Aaron Donald, like best defensive
no.
player in the league?
Yeah. Okay. No. Oh, just as deep. That's defense means more. And like the best defensive player in football is at least in my mind, is in contention for the best player in football. That is not the case with basketball in my mind.
Yeah, I guess, but usually there's like only one real defensive anchor in basketball. There's like a whole unit of defense in football.
I
It's
mean,
like being the best defensive player in football is like, I guess you might sack the quarterback like a couple times a game. Like,
no,
like that's pretty good.
You disrupt every single play. No way, man.
Well, that's actually perfect because that's what Gobert does. Like Gobert gets a few blocks a game, but he disrupts every shot around the rim, right?
Aaron Donald can do it all though. He can move all around the line. You know, he's too versatile, too good. This is same thing as Russ. He's just too much better.
Yeah, that's probably the direction I would have gone. I would have gone with a defensive lineman probably.
I get it though. Going defense does make sense for sure, but I would still think, in physicality wise, like I guess maybe Rudy's more athletic than I'm giving him credit for, but I still think of him as not so much athletic as he is like the sheer size, like the human being is a size and shape you want him to be. Aaron Donald is
he's athletic. He's athletic in the same way Aaron Donald is. Like athletic like a big dude is. Aaron Donald's not athletic like Pat Mahomes is.
Bro, there's not another D lineman like him. I don't know if that's fair to say for Rudy too. Maybe it is, but just too unique for that comparison, I think.
Okay.
I like Russ better than AD. Actually,
I mean, I think you definitely have a tendency to think like the NFL version of the people I'm saying is like better than the NBA version so far. That's the pattern.
The people who are being brought up on the NFL side are just much more notable, I think. You know.
Okay. Giannis is next one.
Honest question: is Rudy ever in contention for like top 10 best player in the league? You think like overall?
It depends how much you weight.
Aaron Donald.
Nobody weights defense that heavily. Nobody weights defense.
I'm saying even just like NFL brought, like Aaron Donald is perennially. He's just one of the best players.
Yeah, but like it's just a bad comp. Nobody weights defense that heavily in the NBA. People who weight defense that heavily, yeah, there's been years that they'd be like, yep, the DPOY is one of the top 10 players in the league.
I don't think that there's a qualifier for how you view the sport when I'm talking about AD being one of the top guys in football. Like that's just a given. You know what I mean? Like you can say bias if you want. I get it, but that's my take on that.
Okay, next one, Giannis. Who is the Giannis of the NFL?
By the way, AD also has a ring. So,
who is the Giannis of the NFL?
This one's fun. I mean, he's literally the freak, and he has a pretty. How would you define his skill set? What would you give me a word to define Giannis's skill set? Because it's not exactly versatile. What would you say? Give me some adjectives, John.
For Giannis?
Yeah.
He's a freak.
Obviously there's a physicality element.
He's an athletic freak,
unmatched. But like his actual skill set, I need.
He's a two-way player. Like he's versatile, I guess. He's not actually. He's just like a two-way player. But there's not that.
Tough one for football.
I actually think that like what Carter put here, I'm like he's the best. Yep, that's right. Many people say Giannis is the best basketball player in the league. Like that
makes and who? So this one, okay. So this is going to be somebody who just there's got to be a physicality element where it's just like, what are you going to do? This one actually makes way more sense to me for like an Aaron Donald. Because that's the exact kind of person.
Here's what we got. Here's what we got in the chat so far. Tyreek Hill, Pat Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Derrick Henry, Mahomes.
Mahomes is a tough one to give up, man. I don't know. To me, like it's not the best comparison.
Well,
but
who's the Mahomes of the NBA then?
That's
what I mean. I'm like, you're like nobody.
No. I know. But like LeBron comes to mind, but I'm like, LeBron's not really the best player currently in the NBA.
Yeah.
Maybe he's the Tom Brady. You know what I mean? That one would be the comp there.
Yeah.
LeBron, Tom Brady. I think that'd be close enough.
You got to be active, I think.
Success. Well, yeah, but whatever. Tom Brady, who knows? How many times does the guy need to retire? Physicality wise, the Tyreek Hill one does stand out a lot to me because that is a pure like the physicality, you stand no chance. It's just a matter of how often I choose to burn you. You know what I mean? Like, I like that. I know that Carter's matchups haven't necessarily been like this, but even in his like descriptions, I'm like, that is kind of the first thing that comes to mind for both. I mean, Giannis's nickname is literally the Freak. Tyreek is also named the Freak. Lock it in. Let's just go with that. I like it. I like it.
You say Tyreek Hill. Carter's answer.
Ooh, Ty said Derrick Henry.
Carter's answer. Pat Mahomes.
I get it.
Are you saying Pat Mahomes is too good to be the Giannis of the NFL?
Not necessarily. I guess with Mahomes, it's a little bit more like, man, I don't know. Mahomes is a little bit more of like and maybe this is true of Giannis, but I don't know. Like the way he plays the position itself is kind of like he's just like making new stuff up all the time, and it's not because he's just physically so much more gifted. It's like there's understanding the game kind of way. You know what I mean? Like, so I like Hill better, but I get the Mahomes thing for sure. If you're just saying like they're maybe the best.
Here's his. Both have GOAT potential. Both won titles for their team after 50 years of not winning it.
Both kind of like Midwest teams too.
Yeah, smaller market, I guess you could say.
Sure. Well, I don't even know if the KC is that small a market for football. It seems like they're. I don't know. I mean, I guess they are size wise, but like you know what I'm saying.
All right. So results of the last poll. According to the Triple Cross community, what was it? It's the Rudy Gobert of the NFL. It's 50-50. And I'm going to end it because we're doing another one. So Terran Armstead, 50% of the vote.
So I win. Tie goes to the runner.
Tie goes to the case. All right. Next one is going to be who is. I mean, I think you're probably going to lose this one just based on the chat, but let's see. They heard your justification for Tyreek Hill. A lot of them said Tyreek Hill too. So who is the Giannis?
There is also something to be said. I liked Carter's defense of that one quite a bit more because he added an extra wrinkle that I didn't think about, being the years without a ring kind of thing. I will say this in my defense of like saying like the NFL players are better. Like there are more players in the NFL too, so like the talent pool is larger to draw from.
Yeah.
So like if for the top 10 NBA guys, it makes sense to me. There's more than just 10 guys who comp to that from football. You know what I mean?
Yep.
There's more position groups. Like it's tough. It's tougher comparison. I do think, I don't know, where you said a lot of people might say Giannis is the best basketball player, and I'm not saying I would even necessarily disagree.
Yeah.
But there's kind of debate. The debate's not really out on Mahomes being number one. I mean, who says he's not? That's
now that Tom Brady's not playing anymore. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's kind of for like now that everyone's like, yeah, LeBron's probably not the best player in the league today anymore. I think a lot of people are going to like probably Giannis, honestly. There's some holdouts for like Luka, but
yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Next up, this one you're gonna have to go to the bag for. Who is the Patrick Beverly of the NFL?
Okay.
All right, chat, help him out. Who's the Patrick Bev? Who's the Pat Bev of the NFL?
Give me some more Pat Bev vibes. Like what we got? I mean, he's like
he's a dog. He's a menace.
Defensive star. Got to be.
He talks. He's a defender.
I only am really like a more like casual NBA fan, obviously, and more just like recency bias too. Like a younger Pat Bev. Was he? I have to imagine he was known for like extreme athleticism, being such a good defender, right? No? Just like fundamentals then?
He's just an on-ball menace.
But fundamentally sound is more the idea then?
He's fundamentally... dude, it's a mentality more than anything.
Okay.
He's just an on-ball menace.
I like that. The first thing that comes to mind by a mile is like Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah. Mike?
Lockdown.
Jalen Ramsey.
I wasn't even looking, Mike, but I like where your head's at.
Jalen Ramsey. And that's... So the other thing, off-court... Not kind of a villain of the league. That's another one that I could throw at you.
Yeah, which Jalen Ramsey fits.
Jason Stone says any player on the Cowboys. Like a Micah Parsons.
Yeah, I was Micah Parsons.
Modern Day Explorer in chat and playback says Alvin Kamara. I think Alvin Kamara's too.
No, I think that was from the last one.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
For who? Who was that?
For
Giannis.
Giannis, which again, like
I think Alvin Kamara's not good enough. Then
I don't know if that's true. Alvin Kamara's a top back. Just like skill set wise,
he's like a top back.
Yeah,
it's the same thing. I'll ask you the same thing about Aaron Donald. Is anybody being like Alvin Kamara is the best player in the league? And if anyone is it like 80% of the people
at his position? There are just more positions in football, so this is the thing we're like the numbers don't add.
It's not like he's not good enough to be honest.
I agree with that, but it makes more sense than for this one, so I was bailing him out for that.
Just from dynamic.
Tomorrow for this would be weird.
Modern, yeah, just not as talented, but just from dynamic.
I got you, MD. I got you, bro.
Yeah.
Jalen
Ramsey, you and Mike both like
mind. In gameplay wise, the only thing that I can think that would fit better is if I could think of like a super dog, kind of sideline to sideline middle linebacker who's maybe a little bit more on ball pest because just the nature of playing corner is being off ball for a majority of the time.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be my, I guess. Somebody said the Cowboys.
So Lattimore, Yolanda says, yeah. So Mike says Lattimore. Yolanda says
I
Eli.
Was going corner,
Eli Apple.
Which all these guys are corners. It'd be Jalen Ramsey. He's the one with the most like dog, just in general, and the best.
Maybe not the most. So that's another thing I will say is maybe not the most talented, but just a dog.
Yeah. Still, he's got Eli Apple. Sorry, Yolanda. Sorry, no, I don't think so. I don't know. Eli Apple, you can call him a dog. I think just as many people would say he's absolutely not a dog. It's up to your interpretation. But
yeah.
The only other person comes to mind is like oh man, who am I thinking of? Guys, who's the Bears? Not anymore, but was the Bears linebacker? Oh my God, how am I blanking on this? It's not football season, John. who am I thinking of, guys? Who's the guy who just got sent somewhere else? He's not. Is it? No.
I can't help you.
Okay, hold on 1 second.
I mean, do you want me to leak a little hint for you here or not? I mean, you can say who you think it is, and then you can also say who you think Carter chose.
Roquan Smith. Sorry, I don't know why I was blanking on him. Roquan. Thank you, Jason. Just a hair too late, but yeah, I like Jalen Ramsey or Roquan Smith. I don't know. Chad could help me out in deciding between those two. I think it's just an interpretation thing. I think that Jalen is more the dog type. He is definitely considered more like towards the top of his position. Roquan Smith is there too. He's a little younger. I'm gonna go Jalen because Roquan's younger. But I like that archetype being the Pat Bev guy more, like kind of smothering out plays more so than kind of just like an off-ball great defender. But that's the translation between sports. Like Ramsey's a great defender.
I'll give you one hint, and you can probably guess what Carter says.
Sure.
Remember, Carter's from Ohio.
No.
He says Eli Apple.
Okay. Okay.
Carter says Eli Apple. Pat Bev is the Eli Apple, the NBA, NFL. I will give him this. Not everybody agrees that Pat Bev is like that good.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I think Jalen Ramsey is like kind of everyone, even if you don't like him, it's like he's good. Pat Bev might be more in that category where it's like a lot of people say he's a menace, but some people are like, dude, he's so overrated. Like he's just not good, you know?
Bro, I thought when you said, keep in mind, Ohio, I thought you were going Nick Bosa on me, and I was gonna hell no, man. Like he's the reigning DPOY, so like great defensive guy. Like come on, like
But so Carter's justification here is they're just both menaces. They're menaces.
I mean, fair enough, but I think I don't know. I think Pat. I get the notes in the chat.
Pat Bev isn't considered top of his position. No, not considered top of his position. Just kind of a menace. He does a thing.
But this is where I'm on the opposite side of the other things. Is I would actually bail out Pat Bev here. I don't think Eli Apple is as good as Pat Bev.
A lot of people say that Pat Bev is like
career kind of too. I mean, Pat Bev is ancient compared to like Eli Apple, even football.
I mean, in relative years, in football years, or in basketball years. I think, I mean. Pat Bev, a lot of people would say he's not that good. So here's how I've heard him described. Pat Bev's a dog. The dog breed that he is a Chihuahua. Like,
yeah,
just kind of a yipper. Let's go. Yeah, Yolanda. This is exactly. Pat Bev's annoying. He's not actually good. He's just annoying. All
well,
right.
Eli Apple is annoying for sure, so I get that.
Okay.
All
So
right.
last
Fair
poll.
enough on that.
Who's the Giannis of the NFL? The options were Tyreek Hill, Pat Mahomes. Looks like PlayBack did not chime in on it. You did good on this one, but Pat Mahomes took it. So Pat Mahomes, 64% of the vote.
Yeah.
All right. So now we're going.
You guys are giving up that crown pretty easy. I don't know.
That
I don't
Pat
know.
Mahomes
I'm
crown.
not saying Giannis doesn't deserve it. I'm just saying it's not like the most obvious.
You just don't think that there is a Pat Mahomes of the NBA. I don't think, right?
Yeah, I'm leaning more towards that, I guess.
Or you'd say it's Steph, probably.
I do like that they're like younger guys still. Well, no, because that's kind of why I wouldn't go to Steph. You know what I mean? Like just way more established, way more. Even Steph, not nearly as like versatile. If I was forcing Steph, I would say it's kind of how he like almost reinvented the position. That's kind of
what I would say. I would have thought.
But even that, no, that's kind of a forced bit. You're right. I don't think there really is a great one for Mahomes.
Yeah,
I think
the top NFL players you like place them. There's no NBA comp. Like,
no, that's not true. That's not true. Aaron Donald could be there, but it's gonna be a guy that's like way more. Because we were talking about him for Rudy, right? That was the big talk.
I mean, so would it be Giannis for Aaron Donald? Giannis is also in discussions for DPOY on a regular.
Is there who would be the next wait, who? Sorry,
Giannis for Aaron Donald.
I was thinking more like Jimmy Buckets or something would be like AD.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like good defender, right? I'm not crazy.
Yeah, solid defender. Yeah, better on offense. Yeah.
Well, yeah, okay. Aaron Donald doesn't play offense, but if he did, he'd be good. You know what I mean? Like that's why it's hard, man. Like as much as Aaron Donald affects the game, I think it means more than like a great defender does in basketball. You know what I mean? He affects the game like a two-way player would in basketball. You know, he's at least that important to his roster.
Yeah. Like, okay.
That's
yeah, I mean, probably where you're going is like it'd be Giannis or like Joel Embiid, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about like, yeah. I mean, that's steep.
AD is very good.
Giannis is steep. Like Giannis is wild.
Giannis for AD, actually modern day explorer. AD for AD.
Anthony Davis.
I mean, I like
that. Actually, I might be able to.
I respect what's going on there for sure. You know,
I might be able to agree with that one.
Yeah, there's just something.
Anthony Davis, like nobody thinks Anthony Davis is the best player in the league, but they're like, I mean, at his best, he's great. Yeah, he's up there.
And who would you say affects matchups more, Rudy Gobert or the whole game? I mean, not just a matchup, but like because that sounds like defense.
Yeah, Anthony Davis affects the whole game more, but Rudy probably
he's better than Rudy, right? He's better.
Rudy affects it more on the defensive end.
But he's better than Rudy, right?
Like, yeah, he's a better player because Rudy isn't like he's got a whole other side of his game.
And where does AD slate in for you? Like, just throw out a number. Top ranked players, top 10, right?
I mean, so I definitely see this from a basketball POV where I'm like, I can't think of the best defensive player is even in the top 20. Like,
yeah, and that's where I'm like, you can't. That's why I'm saying it doesn't cross over to football because clearly there are.
Even in football, I'm like, even if he's the best defensive player in the league, maybe top. Just because it's like, what does that mean? Two, three sacks a game, and he affects every. That's exactly what defensive players do in NBA.
Completely missed the boat. Of course, there are
the top 5 to 10 players in the NFL are probably all quarterbacks or like high volume running backs to me.
No. Aaron Donald is more impactful to his team than every single running back not named Christian McCaffrey. Probably, maybe Derrick Henry if you want to like. Maybe I guess place maybe a couple more, but like probably not. Honestly, no. Yeah. Like no way, dude. No way.
Yeah, well, because like 2 sacks a game and he affects every play. I mean, affecting plays is exactly what defenders do in the NBA. It's like that non-measurable of like he affects it. You know, Draymond Green affects every play. Like, okay, great.
Bad comp. I'm sorry. Bad comp.
But
like Draymond, if you think I mean, hey, respect to Draymond.
I didn't say Draymond Green was the AD of the NBA.
Okay, well, for sure he's not. But Yeah, you can't. I don't know how you can look at the sport that same. It doesn't cross over. It just doesn't translate. That way.
Because there's freaking 11 defenders out there. Usually there's like
and
one
11
real
offensive
defender.
guys too.
Usually there's like one real defender on there. Like there's like other guys who are also playing defense, but there's like one guy who's the defensive anchor in the NBA. So your whole defense is like, is this guy, and then everyone else kind of does it too.
Right. Right.
So that's what I'm like. A defender in the NBA is high impact, but
I get
but
it.
it just
like
it's a bucket. It's a league of bucket. Everybody looks at it like offensive.
But they're literally not even on the field at the same time. Like, you know what I mean? Like AD probably has scored some points. I'm sure he's gotten some safeties and stuff. Like, you know, but he's doesn't have as many career points as Rudy. I know that.
No.
Sure. But like, what are we doing? What are we talking about at that point?
Yeah.
Like, no.
AD I don't think it's Rudy. I think AD is better than Rudy. Yeah. But I don't think they're like, I don't think we're talking about a like order of magnitude difference.
I think we're talking about like a Jimmy or an AD. Fine enough, I guess. Probably. I would say AD in football is a better player than AD is in basketball.
AD in basketball is just inconsistent. There's not consistency there.
He's not inconsistent in football. That's the guy who's
all right. Next one. Who is the LeBron James of the NFL?
Tom Brady. It's Tom Brady. But
it's active. It's an active player.
Aaron Rodgers. Hold on. Let me just real quick do a little thinking through this. But I mean, how could it not be somebody like just super big reputation? Honestly, bigger than the sport, or as close as it gets to it. He's gonna do something else weird though. He's gonna do something weird, like rings, maybe.
I mean, are you trying to guess what he is done, or
I don't know? This game is weird now. I don't know. I'm doing like a dichotomy thing of like, what do I think plus what does Carter think? Plus
I think Yolanda maybe says Jokic is the wait, no, Jokic. Jokic can be LeBron of the NFL.
He's that good.
Mike says Derrick Henry.
No, Derrick Henry is no team success. Like none at all. No, I mean, am I missing? No, he's never won anything. No. I mean, he can never get over the hump at the very least. Been in the playoffs, but like, LeBron's got rings.
Yeah. Oh,
that's
Yolanda. It is active players, but Peyton would be like the next comp
would be fine. But I mean, if you're going to retired guys, it's Brady. It's Brady. Yeah. But like, because I mean, those are the guys who are considered the GOAT at their entire sport. I mean, I wouldn't even argue with that one. Like, if it was like, do you really think LeBron's as good as Tom Brady? Like, yeah, I mean, it's close enough. Like, as close as it's ever gonna be. Like Tom Brady has the most championships, like from football. Might as well be that. Oh man,
won championships with multiple teams. I bet a lot of NFL players haven't done that are like key position players.
Yeah, definitely not quarterbacks.
Like seriously contributed to multiple championships.
Definitely not quarterbacks. And that's the only position where I think it's so involved.
LeBron really fits. Yeah, Yolanda, same thing. Tom Brady, probably the right comp, but not an active player. So I guess you could say Tom Brady if you want, but if you want
similar thing too, I'm like, how could you in this one, similar to some of them in the past, I'm like, how could I not pick a quarterback either? Just based on like, I mean, if we're talking the way he currently plays, that's one thing. If we're talking like legacy, because a lot of what Carter has brought up for his reasoning has been like legacy type stuff. Like the Mahomes Giannis thing is, yeah, they're both maybe GOAT, but like big part of it was like they brought a championship, which will to their team, that hadn't come in the last 50 years. I'm like, that's a legacy type of thing more than like a play style type thing. And I keep skewing towards play style.
Yeah.
But I don't know how you pick somebody who affects as much as LeBron has over his career without it being a quarterback. And all of the main quarterbacks, like Yolanda's bringing up, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Drew Brees. I agree. They could all be a good comp. They're all retired. So that's why I go with the only one still standing, and it's got to be Aaron Rodgers.
All right. So you say Aaron Rodgers. Carter says
he's going to go something crazy like a Matt Stafford or something.
Derrick Henry. So he says King Henry and King James.
Wordplay.
And then he says it typically takes more than one guy to stop them. Okay.
I don't know if that's true. Derrick Henry has been stopped many times. Many times. Never won anything.
Yeah, well, I mean, okay, yeah, like LeBron's definitely had more team success.
Here's the thing,
but he's also lost a lot of times too. So I guess
here's the thing: Carter's. I don't actually dislike any of Carter's comps, but his criteria shifted a lot through each one. You know what I mean? Sometimes it'd be sort of play style-y, sometimes it was legacy based, sometimes it's like physicality. And I'm like, okay, I've been trying to be more consistent with my.
Yeah. Well, I'm also just saying take the ones he already did. Like he had the whole world of comps to make, right? Like I'm telling you, like take the ones he already did and you do them. So yeah, I get it. All right. So last poll was who is the Pat Bev of the NBA? Eli Apple is what Carter said. You said Jalen Ramsey. That one's 50-50.
That one's fine. I like that one.
That one's 50-50. Tie goes to the Casey. All right, next poll.
I do like that one though. That's probably the one I'm like, I'm splitting hairs there for sure.
Yeah.
Like the gist of it, he nailed. So,
Ron,
and I like the Ohio not. That makes sense too. Like,
yeah,
I get it. I get it.
Who's LeBron James of the NFL? You say Aaron Rodgers. Carter says Derrick Henry.
I mean, I feel like he just went with the King nickname thing. That's like,
yeah, he went with some wordplay.
How many times is LeBron
Casey, nobody loves wordplay like Casey. I'm just saying, but like that's not what you're doing here, is it?
But it was like double wordplay. Like he's talking about actually Derrick Henry getting taken down. I don't even know what the context is of LeBron getting. I mean, he's not physically getting taken down.
Okay, last one. Last one.
Hit me.
Who is the Shai Gilgeous-Alexander of the NFL? Oh, I actually kind of like his comp on this one.
It feels like a wrong team, wrong time.
So his comp isn't. I'll give you a hint on what he did. I mean, you're kind of doing whatever you do. I'll give you a hint on what he did. He didn't make the comp based on play style, but if you went with a play style type thing, you might kind of
get there anyway.
Yeah.
Well, where I would go right away is like insane potential, right? I mean, that's not crazy.
Yep.
It feels like he unlucky career, like just where he is, like the team he's on.
I mean, maybe they've got like an incredible outlook, maybe more so than
maybe now, but up to this point, I mean, we can project in the future all you want, but like up to this point,
they made the playoffs when Chris Paul was there when he was like a rookie or second year or something like that. He hasn't been in the league that long. He's maybe 2 years or something like that he hasn't made the playoffs. No,
that he hasn't made the playoffs. Yeah. Okay, maybe. Yeah,
2-3 years that he hasn't made the playoffs.
Could have been a lot.
Made the play in this year
for how good he is what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
You could have really shown out somewhere else.
I mean, like you're kind of team success wise, you're thinking along the same lines.
His skill set is interesting too, because that's like first of all, like what position does he really play? You know, like it's
slithery, sneaky, athletic.
Yep. But still like, I mean, he's ball dominant in different versions of that offense too. Like so, like there's a lot there. Best player on his team, at least like healthy player, right? Like
yeah, you're on the line. Yeah.
But not a good team. Not really that good of a team.
Right.
So
an okay team. Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah. All right,
I really don't know SGA on defense that well either, but I'm assuming it's an offensive player.
He's passable, serviceable on defense.
And in my mind, like I guess when I think of that, I'm like, okay, that's a piece of their game. I think of that as like the unsexy stuff on offense, I guess, like blocking. If you're a tight end, I'm like, yeah, if you're a bad defender, I'm like, he's not an excellent blocker, then come on, that's the same close enough thing.
He's serviceable.
I think the main thing that stands out is like high potential.
What do you chime in on this one? Who's the SGA of the NFL? Gotta help Casey out here.
Yeah, player wise, he's had more success as a player than as a team. Like he's put up good numbers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that kind of stuff. So probably, and I don't know why, but the athleticism makes me think skill, like specifically receiver. Maybe it's his body type, even like he's pretty thin.
He's got that receiver vibe.
Yeah, big time. Oh, wait a sec. I'm gonna say it again, and I think you might agree with me on this one, because this is a guy who's the best at his position in the NFL that I'm thinking of right now. But when I said body type, I immediately thought of Justin Jefferson, like the lanky kind of like, and he is the best player on his team.
I mean, Antonio Brown's the best receiver in the NFL when he signed, right?
Well, at his prime, I guess back then in those early rounds, I was thinking more like the
all time. Yeah.
Well, yeah, like their whole career. Yeah. Now I've adapted.
Like if you think about Derrick Henry now and LeBron James now, it's like a better comp.
Kind of, but the legacies are crazy mismatched. Like,
yeah. Right.
No offense to Derrick Henry, but 10 years after he retires, people aren't talking about him anymore. Like,
yeah. So Modern Day Explorer in PlayBack says several Broncos, Judy Sutton have talent, but stuck in a horrible situation.
That's not bad either. That's a worse situation. Well, that situation's getting better. That actually, based off what you just said about the outlook going forward, I'm like, kind of buy that situation.
I don't think.
But they don't have the individual.
I don't think that the Broncos
that
and Thunder are a fair comp. The Thunder are better. Like,
whoa, the Broncos could be a lot. I mean, they just landed the most sought after head coach.
I'm not talking about could
Okay.
be.
You're saying
like,
even
yeah,
are
like
already.
like
Sure, sure,
yeah,
sure.
like this last season.
Sure.
I don't think it's a fair
Fair
comp.
enough.
Like, the
Fair
Thunder
enough.
is solid. The Thunder are like they were a play-in team. Like,
that's fair enough. That's fair enough. I agree. I kind of agree. That's why the Vikings, the best player on the Vikings, felt better. They were a first-round exit, I think, in the playoffs. Like, okay. I'm trying to think of somebody who would fit better than Justin Jefferson, because like Judy and Sutton, even though you don't agree, I'm like, yeah, okay, I sort of get where you're going there, MDE, but like they don't have
let me ask you
have
this.
they don't
Do you
have the
think Judy and
individual
Sutton
they
are-
don't have the individual accolades that I think SGA has.
Yeah. Do you think they're good enough to be SGA?
Well, Judy is even younger. Sutton's probably a couple of years older, so they just have like Judy. We're like, we don't know really yet, and Sutton is like, we probably already know he's not.
Well, I think we know on SGA, right?
That's what I mean. Like he's good. But is he the best at his position? Like, no. And being the best at your position in the NFL,
is SGA the best receiver in the NFL? Like, I mean, he led in receiving yards, but like you got Tyreek Hill.
JJ is the best. Like Tyreek Hill is a better like ball carrier. I don't know that he's the better.
You got like you got your boy Debo.
It's close. Debo's not the best receiver. I'm just sorry to Debo. He's not. Debo might not be the best receiver on his team even. Like pure receiver. Ball carrier again. Same thing as Tyreek. Ball carrier. Right there. JJ feels right. Let me just go through the Rolodex real quick. Guys like JJ. Oh, okay. Well, like even like a Jamar Chase or somebody, like the team has had too much success.
Yeah.
The Bengals, so that doesn't work, but that also would kind of fit. JJ fits better. I think I'm gonna hate myself if I flip off of JJ, and that's who we put in. So let's just ride with it, baby. I like JJ. A lot of individual accolades. Put up great seasons. I think every year,
regardless of who Carter pick, would JJ be like that's your comp?
Of anybody that I've thought of, unless I'm just like, oh yeah, duh. Like because I guess if I think like running back really quick, there's probably something that comes to mind, but like even just the career outlook,
like a Saquon Barkley maybe.
Oh, that's not bad. The team's pretty bad. They kind of fit too because they've gotten better. That's a good one too, John. I like. Did you say that because that's who it is? Because that makes a lot of.
You're not.
It makes a lot of sense.
So now you're saying, which one do you like?
Makes a lot of sense. Saquon makes a lot of sense too. It's just like they're the equivalent of each other at
Jamar Chase. Somebody said
Saquon maybe does fit better because Saquon
Julio
is
Jones.
not the best running back in the NFL. JJ is. SJ is not the best player at whatever position you want to call him in the NBA. That's just true. So Saquon, man, why did you throw that out there? Now I'm just sold. That's what it is. Yeah, I'm off of Jamar Chase, Kev, because the Bengals have had too much team success, and whether Carter factored that in or not, I'm going to. Both of the guys fit really well, John. I like the Saquon answer. Saquon fits better. Saquon fits better. He's more versatile, just like SGA. JJ is a great player. JJ is probably better too, and I think that's the only thing that felt even a little off about that comp. Is I'm like, JJ's right at the top of the league as far as like, and I'm like, SGA is great, but like at the very top of the league, that's a stretch maybe. So I'll go Saquon, man. You won me over.
I mean, I think in points per game, SGA like that in that specific stat, he's like top 3 or something like that. So top 3 or top 5. I could be misspeaking, but you say Saquon Barkley. Carter says Justin Jefferson.
You'll be a real asshole. It is. Oh my God. It is Justin Jefferson.
Wow, yeah. John. No. And as soon as you said body type, and I was like, oh, he's gonna say the same thing as Carter.
Yeah.
Both are youngsters who can carry their teams in the regular season while posting up incredible stats.
That's exactly true about Saquon too, though. Like that's
yeah. I actually think Saquon's a fine comp. I think JJ and Saquon are kind of like fine, good comps for each other.
JJ is a great comp. I'm glad that me and Carter were so in lockstep, but I did just decide kind of arbitrarily. I'm like, it's a receiver because body type.
Yes. So I was like, I was trying to encourage you and be like, he has receiver vibes. Yeah.
But once you moved me off, though, Saquon is a better fit because of the versatility to the game.
Yeah, I actually agree with you.
It's hard to put SGA's game in a box. like, this is what he does. You know what I mean? You're like, kind of does a little bit of everything a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
That's what Saquon does. Saquon just creates. Like, throw me the ball, hand me the ball, pitch me the ball. I'll throw the ball, whatever. Like, I'm good. I'm going to be real good. And yeah, my team is good because of me. And that's exactly how good we are. We're not not incredible. We're as good as I am. And I float the team. Justin Jefferson, the team is a little bit better probably. And he's quite a bit better, I think, than either of those guys, just frankly.
You think he's better than
the
SGA?
number one receiver. He's the number one receiver in the game right now. Yeah.
Okay.
But that's a great comp still. I like it a lot.
SGA, is he the number one in any category? Maybe not. He's kind of like,
and that's who Saquon is, though. Saquon's not the best pure runner. But
then it's almost like, if you combine it all, he might kind of be the best. Yeah.
Well, he's the most balanced, maybe. Yeah. But he's not the best at any one thing, really.
Yeah. So, last poll, the last poll was who's LeBron James of the NFL? You said Aaron Rodgers. Carter said Derrick Henry. This was a close poll. Closer than it should have been.
I think the chat just got it out for me.
The chat says Derrick Henry at 55%, Aaron Rodgers at 44%, and then there's 1% that's just undecided. All right, last poll.
It's Tom Brady, but if we could write in Tom Brady, the chat goes 100% on that.
Is Tom Brady?
It just is.
Last poll. Who is?
Their careers spanned almost the exact same years, didn't they? Like they're the same guy.
Yeah.
Almost.
Who is the SGA of the NFL? Is it Saquon? Don't know how to spell that name.
Man, you talked me out of the right answer.
I know. Well, I mean, are you calling that the right answer? Or are you calling it just Carter's answer?
I think they're both fine answers.
Yeah,
it's splitting hairs big time, but I do like Saquon more the more I thought about it.
Yeah, I think I talked you into what you feel is the right answer. Like I threw that out there because I'm like, I think Case is gonna like this one.
Yeah. As the game went, I think I started shifting towards trying to get it right.
I know. Trying to guess what he said.
Wearing it like a badge of honor. I'm like, Carter's just wrong. I'm sorry. Like at the beginning, now I'm like, chat's against me, John's against me, Carter's against me. Got to get a favor somewhere, man.
All right. So Dark Sage on Twitch. What's up, Dark Sage? Following us on Twitch.
Look at that profile pic, John.
It's epic. He says, I'm going to give the hot take of the year in the NFL. You ready for it? He wrote it all out here. It's long. He says the Patriots go 12-5 and make the AFC Championship game versus Kansas City. I'm not a Patriots fan by any means, but ever since Brady left, the media has shit all over Mac Jones and set him up to fail. They have basically turned on New England. I want to see them do well and watch the media try to spin the narrative that the Patriots post Brady are a joke. Casey, your response to Dark Sage 9117.
Yeah, that's a hot take.
It is hot. He did say, I'm going to give the hottest take of the year.
Okay, I was looking for that in that message, and I was going to say, I think you just added that. I agree with you on that.
He said, I'm going to give the hot take of the year in the NFL.
I agree with you, Dark Sage.
You did give the hot take of the year.
The hot take of the year, but it's a bad take. I mean, that's what a hot take has to be, is like something that doesn't seem likely.
Is a hot take supposed to be good, or is it supposed to be like a bad take? You know what I mean?
It's the intersection of how
good
spicy
and controversial. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. How close were you to right, and how controversial was it? How many people specifically thought it could happen versus how right were you?
Allie just now showing up in the playback chat. Allie, I didn't even know you're here. Have to go for the night, guys. Allie, thanks for sticking around. We're gonna do our $25 gift card pretty soon.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Casey. You have more to say about the Patriots going 12-5 and winning the AFC Championship? I
think there's a lot going on here in this message, Dark Sage. I think that one, like, okay, what do you want the media to say about Brady, that he wasn't any good? I know you're not saying that, but like, so naturally you start, like, when the Patriots don't have team success after Brady leaves, kind of just that fits, like, that he's the missing piece. Mac Jones also has not been good, like, statistically speaking, which is why this works as a hot take. You're kind of betting on Mac Jones actually turning around. But what I feel like is in this, and I get you're not a fan of the Patriots, so there's not a reason why you're biased, but like, they've been shitting all over him for a reason. He's not just getting shit on while he's like crazy successful.
Mac Jones, we were talking about how Bailey Zappi might be better than him. Like, I'd love to see more Zappi, honestly.
He might be better than him. I don't even know, honestly. Like, we just haven't seen enough from Mac Jones to assert himself as really even a guaranteed starter in the league. You know, he's still riding a lot on his stock coming into the league. Like, I mean, if the best thing you can show from your highlight reel is mostly stuff from college, and you're it'll be his third year in the NFL, 2 years as a starter. Like, bro, like you need highlights in the NFL,
Yeah.
and he just really doesn't have that many. I know he got like I don't know. I think he was one of the years. I think he was one of those guys who like slipped into the like Pro Bowl alternate type of thing. I don't know. The Pro Bowl means nothing anyway, even if that's true. I like Zappy. If for no other reason, then I'm sure his contract's a lot better and they're similar enough. As
Adam, who is a Pats fan, says Mac Jones is failure. They need to get rid of him. He says, yes, Zappa is better than Jones.
I think even Adam would agree too. I'm not saying Adam would agree that they're like
bust.
I don't think Adam would agree that they're the worst team in that division necessarily, but I think he might agree that that division is loaded. Like that's a tough division this year, man. Yeah. That's like with Rodgers there in New York. I'm not necessarily all on board that train either. Like they're the next world champs, but it definitely makes them not the worst team in that division. Tua and the Dolphins, and I mean, just all the things the Dolphins got going. If he can stay healthy, they might be the best team in Buffalo. Like, what are you going to say bad about them? Other than sure they can't beat the Chiefs and win the Super Bowl, but they're always a top 5 team in the NFL. Yeah. Like, bro, I mean, Mike says Patriots need a new QB, and I think that's true, and that's true of only them in that division. Maybe the Dolphins, if you consider Tua just too much of a liability health wise. But yeah, I mean, they have the least skilled quarterback room, hands down. I think, unless we give Bailey Zappi some more time and we see that he's the man. I don't know.
Maybe he's the man. Modern Day Explorer does not agree with this take. He says,
I think Adam's got a pretty tempered, like a rational take here for his own team. I think
which is surprising for Adam.
He said it is a loaded division. And that's why they can't afford to keep Jones being the way he is. I mean, I don't know that I see that this year. Like, let him contracts matter. Like you can't just waste money to get somebody else. But I don't think they're getting to the mountaintop with him. So yes, you need to develop some new. Maybe this is a tank year. Go draft QB of the future. I don't know.
Yeah. Andrew has the hot take of the year. 49ers are going to start their 6th string quarterback. I don't think that's a hot take.
I think that's pretty par for the course.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, that's probably what's going to happen. Why wouldn't they?
It'll be Josh Johnson again.
You know what really worked out for us? The time we started that guy who was the last pick in the draft. We should just do more of that. That worked.
I do want to mention, I am not a Stephen A fan, but he had Brock Purdy as the 2nd best NFC quarterback. And I was like, wow, even I think that's not takey.
Who's he snubbing there? Who's he snubbing there?
Well, according to our list, guys things I agree with him on, like Kyler Murray, Dak Prescott.
Wait,
Matt
is Dak
Stafford.
higher than
Purdy?
Brock higher than Purdy on our list? Because I'm not high on Dak.
No, he's not. But I think that's still people would add him to the snub conversation for sure. But no, we agree on that. But Stafford, guys like that
on the quarterback side for
basically,
sure.
it's Jalen Hurts, Brock Purdy is how Stephen A sees it. So I don't know that I'm all that far off, and I never agree with Stephen A.
The NFC isn't as stacked on the quarterback side.
Kyler and Stafford are the 2 that we had above him, and Fields.
And I'd probably still agree that I want to see more out of Purdy before I can put him above Stafford, and probably above Kyler as well.
Stafford won a ring, so
Stafford won a ring, and
Kyler
really well.
Kyler is the same thing as Mac Jones. Why are we big on Kyler right now?
Yeah, he's skilled. I would say Kyler is probably more
skilled
or versatile or whatever than Purdy, but that doesn't make him a better quarterback.
False. Absolutely false. I think. What certain skills for sure. Arm strength, maybe speed, running.
Arm
speed
strength,
for sure.
that's what I mean. He's probably got better physical attributes than Purdy, but that doesn't.
That he does, yes. Yeah. But all the skills that go into being a quarterback, I think Brock Purdy is pretty handily better. I mean, in half a season, we've seen better tape from him than we ever have seen from Kyler in 4 or 5? I mean, how many? Kyler is I'm not saying Kyler's a bust, but he's certainly not reached his potential of what we thought he could be with that number 1 overall pick. That's just for sure not the case.
Yeah, anyone who's just saying oh, I don't need to watch film, that kind of thing, I'm not really in on. So, I don't know. Kyler's
Justin Fields, though, if you remember, that was the one I was just absolutely irate during our QB power rankings. I was like, there is no way Justin Fields is a better NFL quarterback than Brock Purdy.
He's a better runner.
He's absolutely a better runner. What does that have to do with being a quarterback?
Yeah. If you're Lamar Jackson, a lot. It has to.
Stafford has the ring. I get it. I'll concede that one. Kyler, maybe if you squint, I'm if you're hoping he finally achieves something for once, okay. but Purdy already has. Like Purdy's already won more playoff games than Kyler is ever going to in his career.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Justin Fields, jury's out is all I'm saying. We haven't seen it from him yet on that one.
So we are about to give away a $25 gift card. We do $25 gift cards for every 25 likes on the video. We're going to do that on our private community. There's a link in the description to the private community. The URL is playback.tv/triplecross. So if you go there, we're about to do that in, I don't know, 5-10 minutes, something like that. I'm going to give away a $25 gift card. Playback.tv/triplecross. Head over there. The show's live there, so you can actually watch the show there. So if you're on YouTube, now is the time. We are going to migrate to playback. If you are watching this on YouTube, real quick before you go to playback, please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Please hit the bell icon if you haven't already. If you're listening on audio, a lot of people doing the audio thing actually lately. Casey, a lot more audio downloads lately. So shout out to the audio people. I would want to know, well, maybe we'll ask this in the after party on playback, but like, what could we do on audio to like involve them more, right? So when people can't make it live, they want to listen on audio later. Like, could we do audio exclusive giveaways? I don't know.
We could just leave like little, like blank, like 10 seconds of just blank stuff where we go, audio people, tell us what you think.
And then they can say it out loud.
That's a really good opinion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
they can say it out loud. Oh, like that is an awful take. Yeah. Right. All kids shows do that. Yeah. All kids shows do that.
Yeah. Dora's the only one I watch though. So.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you watch that like pretty seriously. So, all right. So yeah, audio people, please rate the show. Give it 5 stars. Just because if you're listening 2 hours, you're 2 hours in at this point, you tell me it's not 5 stars for you. Like, what are you doing? Like, what do you just listen to stuff you don't like? Stop that. Give us 5 stars. Review the show. Tell us hey, actually, that's great. Review the show. Tell us in the review, hey, this would be fun. You do a lot of giveaways. Here's like one you could do for audio people if you've got an idea for us, so that you guys can win things too, because I want everybody to win things. And that's it. We will see you next time on Triple Cross. If you are on YouTube right now, head over to playback.tv/triplecross. Bye. All right, that's it. YouTube, that's going to be a hard out for audio. If you're on YouTube still, just go over to playback now, because I'm not really going to leave this live for very much longer. Yeah, I see people migrating. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, migrate like nomads.
Migrate. I can't roll my R's. That's a thing. Migrate. When I roll my R's, that sounds very German. Like
yeah, it really did.
Yeah,
that was off-putting.
I can't get rid of my German. Just it's like there's a lot of German in me, and I can't get rid of it. I can't roll my R's. If you're on YouTube, just reminder, go over to playback. Hey, maybe I'll put like a little chat up. How about that?
Let's go, bro.
Over to playback.
We still have 7 people here.
I know, 7 people. What are you doing here? Go to playback. To win a $25 gift card.
I think I should have also had an opportunity. I'm going to take it now to grade those comps myself. What Carter came up with.
Okay.
Not
I feel like that should have been part of the show. You're going to do it like now. All right.
Well, I mean, hey.
You want to get your opinions in. I get it.
No, those
you want me to remind you of them?
No, I remember them, and I remember the vibes more than I actually don't want to tear apart any of the comps other than the criteria shifted from each one to each one. Too much for my taste. I would have preferred maybe at least like an order of operations a little more. Like I think I would have defaulted way more to like play style, whatever I considered that comp to be for the sport, and kind of gone there first and then looked at some of the stuff he did. But I mean, especially he lost me on King Henry, I'm like, bro, because they both got King in their nickname. What are we doing? That one's the worst take. I'm gonna throw that out there. But like the Eli Apple is Pat Bev one. I'm like, that one, yeah. I mean, Justin Jefferson, SGA, yeah. I mean, those are right on. Even though I technically said somebody different, I guess. But those were really good comps. Nice. Come on the Derrick Henry one though. I mean, I'm not even the basketball guy, and I know that's blasphemous. That's crazy. Nobody's going to confuse Derrick Henry for the GOAT. You know what I mean? Just
No.
ain't happening. Never going to happen.
All right. I'm shutting down the YouTube stream. We're headed over to PlayBack. Bye, YouTube.